now?
Most likely live, but obviously the music.
Welcome. Master of None podcast, episode 8.
Yes.
Episode 8. My name is still Justin.
And I'm still Roberto.
I think so.
Allegedly.
The beer I'm drinking today, Montauk Cold Day IPA, India Pale Ale. If I actually educate myself a little bit, I would know what an India Pale Ale is. All I know is that they're a little bit more floral, a little more perfumey, slightly, and higher alcohol content. So there you go. There's my review.
Is that like a seasonal beer?
Yes, it is. This is actually a new one because, I have to rep for local breweries and distilleries. So this is Montauk, which is the eastern end of Long Island.
So why is that one seasonal? Because I get like the pumpkin one around like autumn. I mean,
fall.
Yeah, fall. But why is that one like a winter one? What's that?
IPAs are they're a little stronger. They give you like a little kind of like a little.
So they make you warmer.
Not that they make you warmer, but they're not something you want to drink on a sunny day.
Yeah,
out on the beach, you don't want to drink an IPA. It's not as refreshing. It's got a little bite to it. You know what I mean? It almost like, I can compare it to this. Like, typically I don't drink an IPA as my first beer of the night. I'll usually have something a little lighter, like an ale, like a blonde ale, something like that, so that I can, almost kind of get into the vibe of drinking. Like, this is more of like maybe a third or fourth beer for me, in the night, because it's a little stronger. So I need to be a little lubed up already.
Okay, because I've tried IPAs before.
Some are really, really strong, like taste-wise. Very floral.
I went to like a festival.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't, I know. No, it was a food festival.
Okay, and they happen to have some beers.
And they had some like craft.
Like
it was in
breweries.
Brooklyn. So they had like,
That's hipster central.
Yeah, exactly. It was in Williamsburg.
Oh my God, of course, man. Are you kidding me?
And they had like a bunch of beers and the people were raving about this IPA. Okay. I'm talking about the line was down the fucking street. And I don't drink, but I said, I got to taste this beer.
Okay.
Because I don't drink, not because I have a problem, because I just don't like it. But I'm like, I'll try.
I'm actually his sponsor. No.
Yeah. So I wasn't breaking my sobriety or anything that day. But I was like, I have to try it. Yeah. And my wife wanted to have one too. And we were with people that were getting some. So I was like, I'm going to get one too.
Okay.
Worst tasting beer I've ever had in my life. It almost tasted like malt liquor. And they were like, be careful. It's a little hoppy. And I was like, is that what fucking hops taste like? Because if they do, I never want anything to do with them. It was the complete opposite of a Malta. It was like tart. Like it was, you know?
A little tart, like it hit your glands here. You're like,
yeah, it wasn't disgusting, but it definitely wasn't my thing. And I don't, maybe that means that I like a dark beer because they said it was really light, like in color. So maybe I would like I want something that tastes like, we talked about this before, but I want something that tastes like Malta.
Yo, you know what it doesn't taste like Malta, but it's a consistency like Malta. I just actually had one today, a little while ago. A Guinness. You'd probably like Guinness. Now that you drink espresso and coffee and stuff like that, because there was a time when you weren't really into espresso.
100%. Yeah.
But now that you drink espresso, you froth the milk and stuff like that, you'd like a good Guinness poured properly. You'd like it. I can almost guarantee that shit. Actually, you should let me drag your ass to the bar after this podcast, and I'll buy you one.
No, but I'll definitely try one with you at one point.
You should.
People say Guinness is good. Is that like a seasonal thing too?
No, it's kind of year round. But again, it's a dark beer. Dark beers you don't really drink in the summer. This is what it is. In the summer, you want a light beer. A lighter colored beer. That's almost kind of thirst quenching in a way. That's why Coronas are big in the summertime.
Like Samuel Adams.
No. Well, some, yeah.
The summer one.
The summer ale. Exactly.
With the orange on it.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
See, I don't drink,
but
I know what bitches like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. You're absolutely accurate. So you got that. You also have things like shandies are popular in the summer. That's like your shock top type of stuff. Like the ones like a Blue Moon, something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a wheat ale, but it's bordering on that kind of taste, and and then this with a little more of a bite you want in the wintertime. You don't want to drink this on a beach, this buzzy feeling hoppy beer. You don't want this on the beach, right?
Yeah,
you want something that goes with a lime.
Something that'll quench your thirst.
Yeah, exactly. You put a little lime in, something like that. Like this, you need pretzels. You don't want a lime. Like you kind of want to eat something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Auntie Anne's?
Maybe. The nuggets, though.
Those are the only ones I get.
Yeah, the nuggets with the salt. You don't want to drink something. You don't want to eat nothing sweet with this.
I don't get the cheese or anything like that. I just get the
Me too. I want it for the salt.
Yeah.
Come on, yo. Puerto Rican, bro. I'm all about the high blood pressure and high sodium content.
100%. The more salt, the better.
That's right.
It's actually pretty interesting. You gave us a pretty good lesson on beers, when to drink them.
No, it was kind of just my preference. I mean, I don't really know shit.
I think that goes well with the general perspective on beers, because I feel like that's like what I've heard as well. Like the lighter beers are during the summer. And I can see it. You know what isn't that bad?
What?
And I hope this doesn't make me sound like a softie.
Wine coolers?
No. The apple ciders, like the hard ciders.
Hard ciders are good. But again, those are seasonal. You don't want to drink a hard cider in July. Cider is fall mainly.
Really?
Yeah, for the most part.
I don't know. I think there's like
hard lemonade, hard iced tea, like twisted teas. Those are big.
No, but those are the twisted teas aren't like a hard cider. A hard cider is closer to a beer. Twisted teas kind of like closer to a Four Loko.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
But you know what? That's obviously bias of me. But I don't know. I didn't think they were that bad.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good. I mean, it depends on what you're into and what kind of day it is and how long you're going to be drinking. Like if you're going somewhere where you're going to have a long day, like it's a long barbecue, or you're going to Super Bowl, something like that, and you're going to be there for a long time and people are going to be handing you beers. You don't want to be drinking a 6.7 as your first beer, second beer, third beer.
Yeah.
By halftime, you're going to shit your pants.
Yeah.
You're going to piss in your buddy's wife's favorite ficus and it's going to get fucking weird. You don't want to do that. And then they're going to have to tell you pissed in her favorite ficus the next day because you're not even going to know what happened.
You're not even know. You're going to fucking feel terrible about it.
Don't do that. Have some Coronas at the, have some, during like the pregame show, have some, maybe some Bud Lights. I'm not into Bud Lights, but PBRs are fucking nasty. The goddamn hipsters brought that fucking nasty ass beer back.
Let me tell you something. I was away at visiting my wife who went to school in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. So I would go visit her every so often.
Okay.
And one day they were like, "Yo, go get us some beers." And I was like, "Well, I don't drink. What kind of beers should I get? Like, I'm gonna get Coronas. If I'm going to the beer, if I'm going to pick up beers, I'm gonna assume that everybody there wants Coronas. Yeah. But I'm in Massachusetts, so I'm like, well, what kind of? And they were like,
PBR.
Pat's Blue Ribbon. They said PBR, and I was like, "What the fuck is PBR?" And
you're like, "Isn't that a TV network?"
Yeah, my girl's roommate's like, PBR. I was like, PBR. You don't drink PBRs? And I was like, I don't drink anything, but like, I also don't know what it is.
Like, I drink Sunny D.
Yeah, but I went and I got them, and then ever since that day, I felt like people were just drinking PBR, like fucking Platts. Is it really shitty? Is it terrible?
It's fucking gross.
Yeah. Is it supposed to be a good beer? Is it expensive? Or is it like
no, it's a cheaper bullshit beer. Trash beer that went through some rebranding and then all of a sudden they got adopted by all the fucking hipsters and shit in Williamsburg, started fucking drinking that bullshit.
I fucking
and now all of a sudden they're like fucking.
So it's like Natty Ice?
No, it's not Natty Ice, but it's like Bud Light.
Oh, okay.
It's like you don't understand why so many people drink it. I'm like, why do you drink Bud Light? You might as well drink O'Doul's. Fucking tastes better. That's non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, okay.
Bud Light don't do shit. Like, I mean, like Bud Light, like I drink Bud Light if I'm playing beer pong or like a bunch of really back-to-back intense drinking games. Like if that's what we're doing, I'll drink Bud Light because I could lose 25 beer pong games and not even be drunk.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I drink one Bud Light and my stomach gets warm.
Really?
No, that's not true.
Yeah, I know you're lying. Bud Light is goddamn nothing.
How do you feel about liquor? Do you drink your liquor straight? Are you like a mixed drink man?
It depends on the kind of liquor.
Yeah. What about like dark liquor, like cognac or whiskey?
Again, it depends on the type. I mean, I'll mix certain whiskeys, with drinks like I'll do like if I might do like Jameson and like ginger ale or something like that, which not a lot of people do that. I'll probably get a little hate for that, but I like it. A Jameson and ginger is good to me.
Yeah. I feel like if your answer is not like I drink my liquor straight, like people are just going to hate, even though they don't drink their liquor straight.
There's certain Jameson that I would drink like an old, like I have one, I think it's like a 25-year-old bottle.
Yeah, you wouldn't disrespect something that's not to be mixed.
Yeah, like people worked on that shit. Like somebody looked after that shit for like fucking 25 years.
Yeah.
Like somebody's whole career started and ended while that barrel still sat on the shelf. So,
but if they sell that barrel in a pint size, I'm mixing it. Because you know the good shit, they don't sell them in pints. They don't sell the fucking pints of fucking of the good alcohol. You know,
no.
They sell like the basic shit.
Yeah.
Just like I don't think they don't sell bottles of Hennessy Privilege in a pint. I think they only sell it like from the 5th and up.
Yeah, that's typically what there's typically 2 to 3 sizes of alcohol. You're not gonna have like fucking little tiny shit of good shit. You're not gonna find.
That's what I'm saying. So if they don't make it if they don't make it in a small size, there's no mixing it. I think it's a good rule of thumb.
Word of the wise: if you have a Costco near you,
is alcohol cheaper at Costco?
Bro, they have an entire little separate.
I didn't even know they sold alcohol there.
Bro, are you kidding me? Like you can go and get the same liquor that'll cost you $50 in a liquor store. You can get there for like $40, like $38. It's ridiculous. Like sometimes I'm like, Costco, I don't understand how they can charge what they charge for certain shit. I mean, we get these French vanilla creamers, me and my girl, for our coffee. Right? It's an international delight, some basic shit.
I know exactly what you're talking about
when it comes to my coffee. You know the blue bottle with the yellow top?
You got to buy 3 of them there, though.
Yeah, you know how much it costs?
I want to say they're like $14.
$6.99 for 3 of the bottles. You know how much one bottle costs in a grocery store?
How much?
$4.99.
Damn. As I come up.
For $2.
Yeah.
I'm getting 2 more.
Yeah.
How is that even legal?
But I will tell you I'm not a creamer guy, but I had somebody staying at my house one time and they are a creamer person. And when we went to Costco's, they were like, oh, I want to pick up some creamer because I drink creamer and you guys don't have any. We like half and half.
Okay.
But I pick it up and I'm like, fuck, I got to put all this shit in my fridge now. Yeah. And there is a lot of them. And that's my only issue with Costco's. I love Costco's, but there's only certain things I get there. I'll get my seltzer there. I'll get my meat there.
True.
I'll get
detergent. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a big
cleaning
one.
products in general.
Toilet paper,
toilet paper, paper towel, and some fruit. Not all my fruit.
Some fruit. Frozen fruit I'll get from there.
I'll get frozen fruit and I'll get like the strawberries, and
bananas, the kind of stuff that goes quick.
And there's not a lot of, because I don't want 4 weeks worth of kiwis.
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat that many kiwis. I'm not a fucking koala. You know what I'm saying? Because they just go bad. That's what happens. I have to stick to a single fruit because if I walk out of there with an entire thing of strawberries.
Yo, I just see mad kiwis. I just see like somebody's van flowing full of kiwis.
I swear to God, this happened to me before.
That's fucking
you can't just buy a couple kiwis.
Avocados go bad in 4 hours.
Dude, I've been having the worst luck with the avocados from there, but I do get avocados because at that time I was eating like an avocado a day, and there's 2 of us. Plus the baby loves avocado.
That's what's up.
So we're eating 2.5, 3 avocados a day. Easy.
Avocados are delicious.
They're
you
delicious.
Get the Haas?
All right, so get this. You, like me, grew up eating the big avocados.
That watery ass
shit.
That wet ass big avocado. Yo, my mom.
Oh, and the bigger it was, the better it was to them. But the bigger it was,
PR, bro.
Oh my God, the bigger it is, the more watery.
God,
more
the ones that get skinny at the top. The shits that get skinny at the top.
Yes,
forget it, bro. I don't want it.
It's not fucking good. I don't like it at all. They're watery. That's why I don't like them.
They are.
So I don't know. I don't like those. I get the Haas avocados.
Haas avocados are creamy. They're good. You ever make a guacamole out of one of them watery ass Puerto Rico avocados?
I hate those shits.
Bro, when my aunts, they send them, bro, in overnight packages, bro. And I open it, I'm thinking it's like some rellenos or something like that. So I open it, and I'm just like, damn.
No
aguacate, coño.
Yo.
And they're all fucking, and I open them, dripping, bro. Go.
You know, my dad lives in Puerto Rico. I get he brings avocados with him. Yeah. My dad's always back and forth from New York to Puerto Rico. And I go to my mom's house and there's avocados there. And my mom's like, oh, your dad brought avocados. I'm going to make guacamole. And I was like, oh, you're going to make guacamole? Like, we're going to make it with that? And I didn't really know, really. I knew that I didn't like them, but I didn't know like the difference it was going to be. I thought guacamole was going to be delicious anyways because of all the other ingredients. It fucked the whole thing up.
So watery.
The whole
it was
flavor
mad
up.
yellow and mad watery, right?
We do the chunky avocado.
Yeah.
But it was like lackluster.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how much lime you put in it, it didn't give you that fucking guac taste.
Yeah, you
it
need
was
a
like
thicker
some other
consistency.
shit. Yeah, and then so I put her on to the Haas avocados. I changed the game on my mom's crib.
Get
bro.
out of here, yeah.
They don't buy them shits no more.
Yo, bro, I'm telling you, if it depends the reason you're getting them. If you're eating it in slices, like that's how I grew up eating it.
Yeah, of course.
My mom would just put a fucking slice of aguacate on the plate. That's what you got.
Yeah.
That's it. Cut it. That's it. I didn't even understand it. It was like cranberry sauce when I was a kid. You know, when you're first coming up and you're like, what's that shit over there? How do you even eat that? How does that even
That's
go down?
always on my plate. It's like this yellow and green bacon slice.
And then they used to make me eat it. And then one day I just started liking it.
Yeah.
This like force feeding of avocado. And then in my adult life, everybody's like superfood avocado. I was like, what? Like I'm gonna live for fucking ever.
Yeah.
I've been eating these shit since I was in the womb.
I hated them back in the day.
Yeah, none of us liked it.
Hated them back
because we were eating them watery ass Puerto Rico avocados.
That's exactly what it is.
God damn it, yo.
Fucking, there's not enough Mexicans in our hood that fucking should have put us on.
Bro, yeah, the Haas is like,
If we would have known about this if we lived in California.
like you cut them in half and you look at them, they're like matte colored. You open one of the Puerto Rico ones, they're glossy.
That shit is shining.
That shit is
glistening. Shining. It looks like a pineapple on the inside.
Yeah, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
It sounds like it looks like it should be sweet.
No, that's 100%. Haas avocados are 1,000% better than whatever the fuck they're growing in Puerto Rico.
You could I feel like you could make a good ice cream out of a Haas avocado.
Yeah.
Like you can make a lot of things out of that. It's just that I've been watching a lot of Chopped. I don't know if you can tell.
I fuck with Chopped.
That's how I'm feeling. But what do you think, bro? Should we get into some of this MMA news? A little bit going on in the
Yes,
in the
100%.
MMA world.
Yeah, you want to talk about this weekend's fights?
The fights that just happened. Remind me of who won and what the deal was. There's only certain fights I give a shit about. The top three.
We're
all I care about.
100%. I agree. We'll start with Mike Perry and Tim Means.
Mike Perry and Tim Means. Mike Perry missed weight by 4.5 pounds.
Yeah.
So let's preface this with that. And then he disrespectfully fucking dabbed on the scale like that shit was cool. I was like, first of all, dabbing is like so last year.
Yeah. Well,
Get the fuck out of here.
He knew he was gonna. Guys know what they weigh before they get to that scale.
Yeah, he knew that he was 20 pounds over days before.
Yeah, and it's incredible as a guy who's watched Mike Perry's career within the UFC. It's crazy how much different he looked in the ring. Like those 5 pounds, I felt like they were all in his face. Like I could see it on him. It was weird.
Yeah, he still looks small.
Well, he looks small because Tim Means is a giant. He's tall. Yeah. He's tall.
Yeah.
And he's not. But Mike Perry's not a big guy. I wish I knew his height, but he's like, I want to say he's like 5. What is he? 5'10"?
I have no idea, but I just thought he would look a little bigger than that. But I guess it's been a while since I saw Tim Means fight also. But
Mike Perry had somebody in his corner.
Tim Means took it. He took a unanimous decision, correct?
Decision, yeah.
Was it unanimous?
I don't remember if it was unanimous.
Whatever the fuck.
He took the decision. He really beat him up. Mike Perry won the first round, arguably really good ground game. Came out strong. And then Tim Means dominated the second round. The third round was kind of up in the air. It was a real slugfest. But Tim Means was just super technical, really giving him that fucking jab. Mike Perry kept walking into it. Walked out of the fight. Eyes shut. Had to get one eye was stitched up underneath. The other eye was just fucking black and blue. Really got beat up. But it was a good fight. And at the press show conference, they asked about like Mike Perry's future, being a 500 fighter and then missing weight tonight.
I'll always tune in to watch Mike Perry.
And that's what Dana White said. He said he's a great, he's an, I don't want to misquote him, so I'm not gonna say what he said this, but he alluded to the fact that like people like to watch him.
He puts asses in a seat. I'm going to watch any Mike Perry fight.
Yeah, 100%.
As well as the media leading up to it.
Oh, that's the best part.
I want to see him talk. I want to watch him walk around. I want to fucking see his dynamic with his fucking girl that's in the car. I want them to have a reality show.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, the reality show has to come. Bring
his girl.
Bring us the Mike Perry fucking reality show.
It. I want a show about them raising a kid when the baby comes. Yeah. Start the show. I want to see what's going on. Oh my
God.
I would love to be a fly on the wall when he gets home after a wild night.
Yeah.
And see what happens. You know, when she's like, you're late again. He's like, I know, babe.
I was training.
You know, oh my God, it's hilarious. Comes home, busted up, blood all over him. And she's like, what happened? He's like, I don't know. You know?
Why are you bugging me?
Yeah, that's it, bro. Like, that's what I was
smoking. Oh my God.
We just wrote it. So if this show happens,
yeah,
it was said here first, folks.
Yeah, published. After that, Valentina Shevchenko, Jennifer Maia.
She, good fight. I mean, she did a little better than I thought. She was strong on the ground. Maia was strong on the ground.
She was strong on the ground, but you're not going to win a 5-round fight holding somebody up against a cage.
No, you're not going to win it up against a cage, but I was just impressed with her ground control, how comfortable she was, how easily she got up, how she was taking her down.
She didn't do what Stipe did to Francis.
No, she didn't do what Stipe did to Francis.
And that would be like the equivalent of how you dominate somebody like in their grappling. She was more holding up against a cage, you know, and Valentina looked like it was a 5-round fight and I'm not going to fight you up against this cage the whole night. And it's taxing. It's taxing, you know, being up against that cage and fighting to get away. So I think that she slowed it down. And this could be just me, my perspective from watching the fight, being a really, really big Shevchenko fan. But from my perspective, I felt like she was taking her time and letting her keep her up against the cage. Not letting her keep her up against the cage, but not fighting too hard to get away from her because she knew it was a 5-round fight.
Okay, I'll give you that perspective. I do think that the grappling advantage went to Maia 100%. That's what I felt. I felt that she looked super comfortable. Everywhere she was, she looked comfortable. I wasn't concerned. What happens is, the reason why I think Maia did well is because I tend to hold certain fighters in a very high regard. Like when I look at Valentina Shevchenko, when I look at Khabib Nurmagomedov, when I look at John Jones, when I look at these fighters, they're so good and so dominant typically that I think when they fight somebody and that person does okay, in my mind, they did well.
Yeah.
You know, like they did so much better than just survive, just because everybody else in comparison gets smashed by these people. So the fact that it went the distance, I'm impressed, one, because not many people go the distance with Valentina. Let's be honest. She head kicked and knocked a chick out, the coldest I've ever seen a female fighter knocked out.
Stiff as a board.
Women don't knock each other out like that. It is what it is. You know, it's like flyweights. They don't often knock each other out. Male, female, doesn't matter. Straw weights, come on. You know, who's getting knocked out cold in a female fight? Not many. Yeah. She's knocked women out. That head kick, Jesus Christ, who was that she knocked out? I don't even remember. But she knocked her out dead stiff. So when somebody does okay against a fighter like this, I'm just a little more impressed. I think I just think she needed to grapple a little bit more. Valentina did what she needed to get the win, but I do think that girl should have, I think Maia, not that girl, she's a goddamn professional fighter. Have some respect, Justin. How dare you? But, you know, I think if she would have been able to close the distance and grapple a little more and succeed a little more with the takedowns, I think it would have gone a different way, possibly.
I think that if we watch the fight for just the first 3 rounds, then we look at it from that perspective, and it's easier to say, like, you know, wow, she's really dominating her in the grappling. But the second that grappling stuff stopped, Shevchenko was beating her up in those last 2 rounds, especially the last round, really cracking her. And that's when you started to see the difference in the championship rounds, you know, as they call them, when the champ came out and fucking really put on a show.
It was probably Maia's first 5-round fight. I don't know this for a fact, but I would imagine
in the UFC, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, in those big lights, I mean, those are different lights. You're a co-main,
and also I think she wasn't grappling in the last 2 rounds. She was standing up, she was fighting, and she was getting cracked. Yeah, there was a nasty head kick that came in, and it was just her hands, Shevchenko's hands. It just looked like it was like 2 different fights.
That's a sharp fighter.
Yeah, but to your defense and to highlight on your point, yeah, maybe get away from that cage, and get yourself out of there, and show them that you're the champ that you are. And
I think she couldn't. And
think
I think
so?
that, yeah, but I don't think
Maybe.
I don't think she felt threatened, but I don't think that she could get away. But I think she was like, what are you doing here? You're not really doing too much. I don't feel that I'm in danger,
Mhm.
So that's it. But I want to just mention something real quick. I don't know about you, but in my opinion, I think Valentina should have been the main event.
Damn, I wanted to mention something too, and but
I'm just saying, Valentina's a goddamn murderer, and she's earned it.
100%.
She should have been the main event.
Instead, it was Figueiredo and Perez. Fuck, I wanted to say something before about honorable mention, Shevchenko's sister for
Yes, good point.
honorable
And
mention.
she did very, very well.
She
She
did.
out-grappled a goddamn murderous grappler.
Yeah. Didn't she get the submission?
She got the stoppage via strikes.
Yes. That was my honorable mention. Going back to what you said about Shevchenko should have been the main event, I 100% agree with you. Figueiredo, although the guy's a good fighter, he's a champion. He's not a champion as long as Shevchenko has been a champion.
That was his first defense.
It was his first defense. The 2 fights ago, before he even got that belt, because remember, he fought twice for the belt. The first time he couldn't get it because he missed weight.
Yeah.
And then he went out and got the belt.
Yeah.
And now he's defending it. That guy shouldn't have been the main event.
No, and not to mention, just purely from a business standpoint.
Well, from a business standpoint, I think that they think that people want to see those 2 guys fight. The guys that watch it every day don't want to see them fight over
even
Shevchenko.
A casual knows Valentina more than they know Figueiredo.
Yes.
Figueiredo's big in maybe Brazil. That's it.
Yeah, so you know what? I was trying to give him something, but now when you mention that, I don't think
And
there's
who
anything I
the
could
fuck
give
is
them.
Perez? He's a good fighter and shit, but he ain't selling no tickets. If you
Yeah.
told me that he was on the Contender last week, I'd be like, word? I'm no disrespect. I mean, but we're talking dollars here.
Yeah,
I want to see Valentina Shevchenko more than I want to see them.
Oh yeah, 100%. And in this fight, the only 2 people to really talk about is Figueiredo and Shevchenko because no disrespect to their opponents, but they didn't fight huge names.
No, that was a fight night. Sorry. We paid for that because we're goddamn addicted to watching fighting. But I mean, we go to local fights at the pub a county over from where we live to watch people that I train with, people that we know and people we don't know fight at a sanctioned county event.
Yeah. Big cage, little room.
In a fucking pub. It's a goddamn bar. And they put a ring in that bitch. Okay? And there's fucking pro fights that go down there. So don't listen to us when it comes to spending money on fights. Because
100%. But now that you're saying that, and I didn't think of this before, but you're saying it, and you're right. I have seen fight nights that are better than that card.
Yeah.
Lined up wise, when you look at the lineup of fighters, Shevchenko's a huge name, but she didn't fight a huge name. She didn't fight. I guess who the fuck is she going to fight, right? But she didn't fight a huge name. And then Figueiredo, they both defended their title, but not against really big guys.
See, there's rare fighters. There's rare fighters where their opponent doesn't always matter to me because I know they're going to do some shit.
Yeah.
Every time I see Valentina fight, I don't care who she's fighting.
Yeah.
And typically, I want it to be super competitive. I want it to be somebody that I think is going to do well against the other fighter. I don't like to see anybody get wrecked. I don't like to see anybody get beat up.
Yeah.
But the abilities that Valentina has, I'd watch her hit a goddamn heavy bag
100%.
for 5 rounds. I would watch her fucking strike a heavy bag for 5 rounds before I would watch Figueiredo and Perez.
I'm going to say this every time we mention Shevchenko.
No disrespect, but fuck.
Yeah, no, you're right. The Figueiredo, by the way, Figueiredo Perez, Figueiredo won in the first round via submission.
Guillotine choke.
Guillotine choke.
A nasty choke too, sunk in very well on a scramble.
100%.
I don't know where Perez's hands were at, but his neck was out in the fucking sky, son.
But going back to Shevchenko, and I got to sneeze. It's like right at the tip of my nose.
Where else would it be?
Is that where they're usually located? Ooh.
I don't know. It's not at the tip of your, you know what I'm saying.
Excuse me.
Good thing we've been swabbed negative.
Yeah. We test before every episode. Rapid. Going back to what you're saying about Shevchenko, you'd rather watch her hit a bag than watch fucking Figueiredo fight Perez. Valentina Shevchenko, I'm going to say this every single time we talk about her. One of the best fucking female mixed martial artists of all fucking time.
I think she's one of the best mixed martial artists. Period. Male, female.
Yeah.
Her dominance, her ability, her sharp technique. When I watch her, I'm terrified and like I kind of start sweating at the same time.
Dude, she's her ability, her athletic ability, the way she comes to perform every single time. She's a professional. She's not a fucking jerk.
Yeah.
She's only, the only other person I put up there with her is someone like obviously Amanda Nunes, who is undoubtedly the best. I always say Shevchenko is like one of the best. Amanda Nunes, undoubtedly the best.
The most successful and the most dominant, yes. But I tend to look at other things. I think Valentina's technique and how sharp Valentina is, to me, she's a better... A lot of people this doesn't make sense to, because I feel the same way about basketball players in professional sports.
I see where you're going.
You know where I'm going?
I see where you're going.
Her finesse, her technique, her ability, her head, and her like cage vision, like that shit to me, I think is better than Amanda. It's just Amanda's got
the difference
fucking
is
grenades.
that yes, the difference is that everything that Shevchenko comes into the ring with, she's developed, and none of it is like God given or like some of that knockout power. Those rocks that Nunes has in her hand is like genetic, just strong. God-given strength.
Yeah. Also hard work, but yeah, no.
Also hard work.
Bone structure. She's larger.
Yeah.
She's bigger.
She's larger.
She's stronger.
Yes. 100%. And I love Amanda Nunes. Nothing against her, but I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
She's and it's the same thing when you look at fighters like Rose Namajunas. She is a more technical fighter, and she's so good. She's so fun to watch because she's explosive and she's accurate.
Her technique,
her movement.
It's interesting.
It's just, it's great to watch.
Go ahead.
And it's earned. She it's nothing like that's not something that you just get, you know what I'm saying? That you just wake up and you have this ability to move this way and be this accurate and hit and counter the way she does. And her ground game is also obviously fucking watching her on the ground,
She knows she's not unfamiliar there.
No.
Sometimes people forget, like when people watch her head kick people, and people forget that there's more aspects to this. Like when Khabib hit that triangle.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, he had a mounted triangle. Like, people know him for the ground and pound, like the Dagestani handcuff, like reaching around and grabbing the far arm, pulling the base out and just like pounding you against the cage. But, DC said this.
That he has good jiu-jitsu.
DC said he's got tools y'all never seen.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know who said that? Josh Thompson. That's who said that with Big John McCarthy on their podcast. I heard him say this shit before this fight happened. So shout out to Josh Thompson for knowing what the fuck you're talking about. They train together. He's one of the coaches over there.
Okay.
And mind you, he was the first person ever until Jorge Masvidal to stop Nate Diaz. He stopped him with a fucking head kick. He TKO'd Nate Diaz years ago. So shout out to Josh Thompson. Forever. That to me is equivalent to winning a title. You head kick and stop Nate Diaz, put him down, ground and pound him until the fucking ref stops it. You're a goddamn murderer forever. Yeah. Like, I mean, it didn't happen after that. Didn't happen before and it didn't happen after.
Yeah.
That shit never happened again.
Yeah, you're the only person to ever do it.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's actually the same exact kick that Jorge Masvidal hit him with. You remember when he hit him with that combo and then Nate ducked down and he head kicked him and he sat back?
I know exactly what
same exact kick. Same exact kick.
Now that you're mentioning it, I feel like I never watched a fight, but I seen that exchange, and he falls back, hands up, right?
Yeah, like he falls down, and then Josh Thompson gets on him and starts hitting him. So, but anyway, Josh Thompson said it. He said Khabib's got tools that nobody's ever seen. He said the only thing is that his go-to has worked every time, so he's never had to display anything else. He was like, people don't understand what this man is capable of. He's got everything. He's got 100 tools you haven't seen. So I was like, Yeah, I guess. I mean, you're a coach over there at his gym. You got to kind of, it's a teammate, essentially. Nope, we saw it. So I forget where I'm going with all this, but Valentina. So back to Valentina, whatever. Valentina's freaking, her skill level, her, everything, her dominance is
Fight IQ.
Her fight IQ. It's just more interesting to watch to me than anybody else. Anything else on MMA you got?
Sugar Sean. He's
coming back, right?
February?
No, I think I want to say it was January.
I think I seen him posted. I think it's February. I think
He
I seen
looked
him.
like he gained some muscle. Did you see that fucking
He looks good.
guy?
He looks
Looked like
good.
he put some fucking weight on. Shout out to Tim Welsh. Yes. He's a fucking goddamn killer. His freaking coach. That kid's a goddamn animal.
Who's the kid? Is that the kid that hangs out with him with the sparrow tattoo on his neck?
Yeah, with the
That, like,
glasses.
lives
and
with him?
The glasses and the ginger dude.
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
He's
I
his
know.
coach.
I know. I watched him. He's like you. I'm like subscribed to his YouTube. Shout
Bro,
out to
he
his
dragged
YouTube
that
channel.
motherfucker up to live with him and put him in his house because he's like, yo, I think you could be something. He was a fighter.
I was just gonna say he's a killer too.
He was a fighter, man. He's damn good at jiu-jitsu. He's a goddamn good grappler, but you know what it is? He's willing to learn. He's willing to learn, man. He's been a student of the game for a long time.
My talk.
Cut the check, dog. No. But yeah, so he's coming back. I'm excited. I hope he's healed enough. I hope that he's not scared now, or not scared, apprehensive about his injury, because I know what that's like. That shit sucks.
And I wonder if because I didn't read them really narrowing down and saying what was it? Was it a tear? Did he hyperextend something? And
I think it was the kick.
you think it was a kick?
Yeah, it was a kick. Not I think. I know it was a kick. I
Okay.
watched it. I watched the exact kick that caused the injury.
Okay.
He kicked him and fucked him up.
So I
and
hope he's ready.
everybody chalked it up to like an injury, like he tweaked it.
Because that's what it looked like.
Yeah,
It looked
because
like he tweaked it.
if you missed the kick a little bit prior, it's hard to see. But now for a while I gave Cheeto, like I was like, I don't know, Cheeto, he got hurt. Nope, Cheeto hurt him. Cheeto did that. So shout out to Cheeto Vera. He's a goddamn murderer, man.
Yeah.
He really did that shit.
Yeah, and he fucking put a fucking 1 on the other side of this guy's record now.
Yeah, for sure.
So, somebody who's really on a hype train, and I don't want to say hype because I really do like him. I think
And the
he's
hype
good.
is real.
Yeah,
It's not, it's
the
not
dude's
hype.
a real deal fucking knockout
He
artist.
is. It's no coincidence. He one punch drops motherfuckers with iron chins.
100%.
That skinny boy can hit like a brick.
Yeah.
So shout out
It's the hair.
shout out skinny fighters that knock people out.
It's the hair, man. All his power comes from his hair.
What the fuck you trying to say, dog?
You got a beard, man.
That's true.
Some of us don't
That's
have
true.
that.
I got chest hair and shit.
Yeah,
right?
look at your arms, dude. You got enough hair in your body. Do you got enough hair in your body that you could do something if you wanted to? You know what
like
I'm saying?
put it up here.
You could.
Oh shit.
You
know,
could.
now you talk, but it'd be a weird texture. It'd be
You got
mixed
mad
textures.
chest hair. I, on the other hand, am a complete naked mole rat.
This man is a dolphin.
I have no hair. When I go to get tattooed, my artist like laughs at me because he's like, I don't even know why I shave you. I had like
Yeah.
no hair whatsoever.
No. It's like shaving a banana. There's nothing there.
It's weird. I for a long time thought I had. You remember this phase of my life where I thought I had low testosterone. I was looking.
I think I put that in your head.
I was maybe.
I think I told you that.
I was looking it up. I was asking like my clinical friends and they were like, well, and they started asking me about the other symptoms, and I was like, no, I don't have any of that. They're like, well, why the fuck do
What
you
were they
think you
asking?
have
They
it?
were like, "Do you have erectile dysfunction?"
Yeah, so they're like, well, do you?
And you're like,
you
"Nah,
know?"
my fucking gear works."
I was like, why I'll fucking get it up right now? Are you kidding me?
Hit the fuck, is that a challenge?
Yeah, I could get it up looking at a tree. So they asked me all these questions. I was like, no, none of that. And they were like, why the fuck do you think you have like your fucking testosterone deficient? I was like, I can't grow any fucking hair or beard. And like, that's fucking stupid.
They were like,
probably
"That's genetics, bro."
Exactly.
Yeah.
They said it's probably They said, well, does your dad have a beard? I said, no. I said, dude, you're not getting a beard. But I will. I was hoping to get one before Christmas.
Listen,
But
man.
maybe next year.
If you identify as a man with a beard,
You think that's the way that works? You better call me a man.
I will recognize you as a bearded man.
Yeah, that's my right. That is my right. I don't want to be recognized as like one of those neck beard guys because I know a bunch of those guys. I
Hey.
want to have a full face beard. No, you got the full face. You know,
Not only the full face, my shit almost connects to my chest. I gotta make a little space here. I gotta hit him with the clippers. You know what I'm saying?
you know the people who have
Just
like,
hair
only
down
this.
here?
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
usually like a thyroid thing or something.
Is that real?
I don't know. Probably not.
The glands, the ducts.
It could be. If it's a female like that, it's a thyroid thing.
If it's a female with the beard, it's
With the neck
definitely
beard,
a
it's
thyroid
probably a
thing.
thyroid thing.
Yeah. That happens as women get older.
It happens. No, and it also happens with thyroid dysfunction. Like some people think it's something that's, like, ew, she got a beard. Like, no, she could have some legit, like a medical condition.
Yeah,
fucking
you remember
asshole.
that chick from fucking Friday with the mustache?
The one that was busting up his window?
The one when Craig and
And
Day
Day-Day?
they went into her house. He had to take a shit or something like that. And
Yo.
Craig went up there to take a shit. And she said, "Tell your daddy I said hi." He was like, "Ew." She had a mustache.
Come give your auntie
Miss
some
Pearly. That was her. I think that was her
shit. No,
name.
Miss Purdy was the bad one across the street. The one that was bending
Hey,
over.
Miss
No,
Pearly.
no.
No, it
I'm
wasn't.
fucking up the names.
Nah, you're crazy, bro.
All right, wait. We got to finish our MMA talk.
Okay, going back to MMA.
What else we got? And then the main event we talked about.
Man,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
talked about.
All right. Do you know that Cub Swanson got removed from the rankings?
Who?
Cub Swanson. He's been out for a
No,
while.
I know who
with a knee
Cub Swanson
injury.
is, but why did they remove
He's
him?
been out for a while with a knee injury, about a year.
Who did they replace him with?
I don't know. He's out of the rankings, but he's coming back as an unranked opponent.
Who's he fighting? He'll get his number back
I
to
don't
his first
remember.
fight.
Oh, wait. Back to Figueiredo.
Those rankings are bullshit.
Yeah, they're bullshit. They're decided by media people.
They don't make any sense.
I mean, once we have like 200 subscribers or something, we can we could be part of the people that decide the rankings.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So,
well, we're already the number one podcast.
that's right. Listen, it's all about how you feel, and I identify as being the number one podcast in America.
We
so therefore
identify as the number one podcast in America.
Yeah, we got a little bitch ass hater floating around on the internet.
Yo, there's
too.
one cocksucker.
I don't want to talk about it. This fucking listen, man. I don't want to talk about it too much. This fucking little bitch boy.
There's this one, guys that like to watch other guys give their old lady
Fuck
a
their
real good
wife.
fucking.
Yeah, he's a little fuck. What do they call that?
They call
Cuckold.
it cuck.
He's a little cuckold. Fucking.
Yeah.
All right, let's not get too deep. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. If you watch it this deep in, you're a fan. Fuck off.
Yeah.
All right, next. How about my man Cody Garbrandt?
Cody Garbrandt says he wants to come and fight Figueiredo. Says
Well-
he'll be ready in.
When?
Said he'd be ready early next year. I can't remember. Maybe Sugar is fighting in January, and I'm convinced I'm mixing him and Cody. And Cody saying, he's ready for February.
Well, what I was referring to with Cody, he had COVID-19. Yeah, he tested positive for COVID. That's why he had to pull out of that fight,
Okay.
or maybe not out of the fight. I think afterwards. But now, what I'm saying, he's suffering some significant complications from COVID-19 currently.
Oh, really? I know that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about him talking shit on Twitter or talking shit on social media, talking about he'll come fight him.
But he was actually. Now I had this. Now, given this is just my brain working, I used to have some clinical experience or something close to it. He beat COVID-19.
Yeah.
But after the fact, sometimes with COVID-19, there tends to be. I know people that have clinical experience. That's what
Yeah.
I meant to say.
You've heard of people
Precisely.
who've had clinical
So
experience.
when you have a person that has COVID-19 and then they beat COVID-19, a lot of people are like, oh, you're out of the woods, you're chilling. Because a lot of the understanding that we had originally when the virus came out was that it was respiratory, right? We're putting everybody on vents, putting them on, we were addressing lung function, pulmonary function. After you beat COVID-19, there tends, before you beat it, we actually found that a lot of it has to do with hematological concerns. Like it has to do with your blood. So, and issues with it carrying oxygen and stuff like that. So
the
there were other-
hemoglobins.
yeah, pretty much. Them globins.
Mhm.
So there was an issue with the blood being able to effectively carry oxygen. Something like that along the lines. The literature stated, some people that I know have told me. So based on it being a blood issue, after you beat it, people would be going back to the hospital with issues with being hypercoagulative,
Ooh, that shit's too thick.
making blood clots and throwing blood clots. So you'd have people coming in with, or people going in with calf pain, unilaterally, which is one side. So they'd have like calf pain on the right side, but no calf pain on the left side. Maybe the leg is a little cool to touch below the knee, only the right leg, not the left. No pedal pulses, no pulses in the foot. So what does that mean? No blood flow. Perfect. So now you're finding blood clots in these patients. Also, people were throwing what's called pulmonary embolisms, PEs. When you have a blood clot, it's just a clot or a thrombus. Once it travels, it becomes what's called an emboli. So once it's moving, it's now an emboli, which can cause what? Strokes.
Blockage or stroke.
Right, a blockage, which is a stroke.
Stroke, yeah.
So it can cause a stroke in your brain or a pulmonary embolism, which, for simple understanding, it's a lung stroke, if you want to put it simply.
Can't you also get it? Isn't an aneurysm a blood clot too?
An aneurysm is a little different. It's kind of like a little bubble that kind of comes off the side of a vessel, like kind of like a little egg on a tire.
Oh,
like that kind of deal. And then sometimes it's fine. It's stable. It won't do anything. But then there are some times when it actually starts to fill up a little bit and it can rupture. So,
is that when you die?
You don't always die, but it causes a hemorrhage. So if you have an aneurysm in your brain, it's a little bubble. Sometimes it's cool. But then if you, let's say you have something like uncontrolled hypertension, you have blood pressure that you're not treating. Now you have excess pressure in your vessels. So now that little excess pressure can bust that little egg open. And now you have what's called an subdural or a cranial hemorrhage. Now you have bleeding into your brain.
Okay. Back to...
so my thing with Cody is he's suffering from blood clot issues now.
Do you think that because he's an athlete, athletes would probably more likely have like much more dilated veins, right? Because they're more active, they're pumping more blood through their body because it's just like how bodybuilders and people like that have bigger veins and they're more vascular because they're consistently, and this is a question, because they're consistently like, pumping they're consistently pumping blood. So do you think that because he's an athlete that he may not be as susceptible to those side effects? Or they're not side effects, they're called, what are they called when you're sick, and then the
symptoms
the aftermath of your sickness?
Residual.
Yeah, the residual effects of COVID on him. Is that a stupid point?
No, it's not a stupid. No, it's a very clear question. I just want to make sure that I know what you're saying. So you're saying that the
what would your friends say?
Of an athlete,
what would your friends
that are clinical tell me?
Yeah.
You are going to be more vascular, but that's not from tighter veins. That's from
larger veins.
Exactly. Which decreases blood pressure. Think about it like, cars, right?
Yeah.
Think about when you have a lot of pressure in a hose. If you make that hose wider, what does it do to the pressure? Decreases the pressure. Exactly. So it's the same thing. That's why when you have something that's called a vasodilator that opens your veins, that's something like a nitroglycerin, something like a medication. Like, let's say if somebody's having a heart attack, what that means is there's some kind of blockage to blood flow to the heart, typically in the coronary arteries, right? Which are the arteries that feed blood to your heart, not the rest of your body. So that will open up that vein and open up that artery rather, and hopefully get blood flow to that area, right? It'll dilate the veins.
Yeah.
But then you have things that are vasoconstrictors, which are like nicotine, caffeine, which when you smoke a cigarette or something like that, it's going to make your veins tighter, which will increase blood pressure. So they would probably typically have lower blood pressure because they would be more vascular and more, cardiovascularly fit.
So if he smoked a cigarette, you'd probably be better off. He should pick up a cigarette habit.
Cody?
Yeah.
No.
Essentially. That's what I got out of that.
No.
If I had to fix him, if he was like, what do we do, Berto? What do we do? All right, we're gonna get you to start smoking cigarettes. What do you mean? Newports. Shorts.
100s, bro.
Oh yeah, no. Hundreds.
We need all the fiberglass we can get. No, so he would so what he would need is like anticoagulative therapy. That's what he would need. Something to help thin out that blood. So maybe a blood thinner orally if it's not that bad, or if he has blood clots that are significant, he'd be on like a drip, like a heparin drip or something like that. That would be an intravenous form of anticoagulative therapy that would be more.
That's real tough because he's been really looking good his last fight.
But anyway, yeah, so he's having serious complications. I didn't mean to get into on all this thing about information that my friends tell me, because I simply regurgitate information that I know nothing about.
Yeah, that's what we're all doing, man. We're all just spitting out what we took in.
Or spitting out what never got there.
Yeah.
Because I just spilled it everywhere. But yes. So I have about this MMA. The Figueiredo is turning around for a title fight next month. That's what I meant to tell you. They already turned him around to defend his title against Brandon Moreno, who fought on the same card. So both of them are turning around to fight next month for a title fight. That's what I meant to touch on MMA-wise. Aside from Cody, prayers to Cody, get well soon.
Yeah,
but
man.
Figueiredo title fight next month.
That's
That's like a 4-week turnaround. He's going to be okay. But Brandon Moreno got hit. He scrapped. He was in a fight.
He won. How'd he win?
I actually don't remember.
Neither do I. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Because that would have something that would give me a better idea if he can turn around this
Did
quickly.
he get a stoppage? I want to say he got a stoppage. Didn't he flatten him out?
Did he took his back and flattened him out?
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm thinking about the wrong fight.
But anyway, either way, that's a super fast turnaround. But I'm glad that it's both fighters turning
4
around.
weeks. That's crazy.
It's crazy, man. That's a super fast turnaround.
You really don't see that turnaround, especially for a champ.
No, you don't see that turnaround. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen a crazier turnaround with Chimaev. What happens is
That's crazy.
He
That's
fought
at
the
a
same
different
week.
He in a different weight class.
yeah. So he said he fucked it up for everybody.
Yeah.
Now,
Nobody
Dana
will
White's-
ever be able to do anything. That'll never happen again.
No. Dana White's like, so, I want to know, kind of, how you feeling, Khabib? You coming back? We want you to defend your title twice in one night.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
It'll
that?
never happen.
Chimaev did it.
Yeah.
He fought twice in a week. You know?
Well, it was in 2 different weight classes, so I don't know if you want to do anything like that. Yeah, no, but 4 weeks is still a fast turnaround. It's an even faster turnaround for a champ. When you look at guys like Stipe who fight every
2 years,
every year and a half or whatever he fights,
Yeah.
he's the champ. John Jones is the champ at was the champ at light heavyweight when he wasn't fighting often, and before him it was DC, and he was fighting fucking Stipe every 2 years.
Yeah, he was leaving the fucking weight class to go up and fight. And
So
this is all Conor's fault. Everybody wants to be a champ.
because of the champ shit.
Yeah, we've had now 4 champs.
It's Amanda Nunes,
Yeah,
Triple C, DC, and Conor McGregor.
that's a lot. Conor fucking burned the fucking house down.
Yeah.
He did it, and everybody did it within 2 years.
That was
2
crazy.
years.
That was so crazy that when he did it, they didn't even have his belt ready for him. Remember, they didn't have the belt out, and they had to pull fucking, who was it? Was it Luke Rockhold or somebody that gave him a belt out of the crowd? They were like, "Here, take this belt, take this belt."
I'm trying to think if Luke Rockhold was still asleep from a left hook at that moment, or if he was awake. I don't know.
But they gave him somebody's belt, and that's where that notorious,
the champ.
I would like to apologize.
For absolutely nothing. To absolutely nobody. That's it. What else we got, man? I don't have anything else for.
Nothing else. I got nothing else for MMA.
Conor and Dustin is confirmed, which I think that fight's going to go different. Dustin's a motherfucker. I might put some money on Dustin.
Listen, I think that if Conor's the guy he says he is, he should come out and dominate. If he comes, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm saying if he is the guy that a lot of people think he is, if he's this fucking Floyd Mayweather of MMA, not the guy that I know he is, because I see a different perspective. I feel like I see a different perspective of him. But if he comes out and starches him.
Starches who, Dustin?
Yeah, can you imagine? If he comes out and does what he did to Cowboy?
He won't. Dustin is a motherfucker.
Can you imagine?
Dustin's a motherfucker, man. Dustin's my favorite fighter. I love Dustin.
Motherfucker.
Dustin's my favorite fighter, man.
Conor was your favorite fighter at one point too.
He was, but then he got real silly and started doing weird shit, and you don't fight anymore. You can't hold that title. I've been fucking with Dustin since the jump.
Okay, so what happens if, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I think Dustin's a real good fighter.
Watch Fightville, bro.
I think that Dustin almost became the champ. I think he had that he's the only one that really threatened Khabib.
Khabib did not like that guillotine.
No, I think he's the only one to really threaten him.
He had to address it.
People say Michael Johnson was the only one to crack him. Dustin was the only one to ever really almost
have him in
finish
trouble.
Yeah, he's the really only one to ever have him in trouble.
It was only for a few seconds, maybe 5 to 8 seconds.
But if it was, but it could have been, it could have been the end to his reign.
Yeah.
So I do like Dustin, but what I'm saying is, what happens if Conor goes in here and he fucking starches this guy? Then it puts me in a position where I got to say, fuck me. Maybe he is that guy.
If he comes out and starches Dustin, to me, that'll be the most impressive thing he's done, aside from knocking Jose Aldo out with one punch. To me, that would be the most impressive thing. Like
Chad Mendes, what he did to...
That was impressive, but, it was short notice for both of them. You know what I mean? It was a short notice fight. Chad Mendes was a replacement. Whenever there's something like that going on, I can't help but think to myself, it's a little different.
Yeah.
So,
but if he comes out and starches Dustin,
he's at the top of the fucking weight class to me.
Then what? Then
he's got to be Gagey. He's got to fight Gagey.
I think he would be Gagey, though.
He's got to fight Gagey. I don't know. Gagey's a motherfucker, man.
I think that, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I can't make that decision just like that. I shouldn't have said that.
Like Francis Ngannou does.
I shouldn't even have said that.
Not as much, but close.
But the reason why I initially say it is because how much punishment he takes. And I don't think that he could take that kind of punishment from Conor. I think that if he comes out and, I don't think Conor's susceptible to that, those inside leg kicks. Conor sits real wide. He sits outside. He doesn't sit on the inside with him. He's not going to leg kick him. He's not going to those inside calf kicks. He's not going to pull that off on Conor. I think that if he takes damage the way he's taken damage historically, that he just can't make the distance with Conor. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think that he could? You don't think he'd be able to kick the shit out of Conor's lead right leg? I don't think that he could. I think he could kick his leg. I just don't think he could really kick that, because what that inside calf kick is I think it's his bread and butter. It is.
That's his bread and butter.
And he would land that on Conor.
I just think that Conor's fight style, like that. Why fight style? I just don't think that's he's not really laying in the pocket with people.
He's a puncher.
He is a puncher,
which means what?
But he's not.
He's got to get close.
He's going to come in eventually.
He has to close,
and then
the
he's going to come back out.
He has to close the distance. He'll kick.
So maybe you're right.
So I think Justin Gaethje does do that, and I can see myself getting a little annoyed by it as he does it, and be like, "Fuck, man!"
If he starts to fight,
see him bang a little more. But
if he starts to fight and just whap starts hitting him, I'm like, "Oh my god, that's his." Yeah. So I get what you're saying, but yeah. So if he beats Dustin, then he has to fight Gaethje, and then Khabib comes out of retirement to fight Conor.
I mean, it could be. I mean, Gaethje just got a title fight, so maybe Conor skips him. If Conor beats Dustin,
who the fuck has the belt?
Khabib still has the belt. They talk about giving it up, but he still hasn't. Did you see he just tweeted? He just tweeted, "Dana, see you soon, Dana White." So he's probably coming back for the 30th fight. So he's probably going to fight the winner of Conor and Dustin, and Dana probably just threw a fat ass check at him. And was like, listen, if whichever one of these guys come back, if you fight him, you fight in Abu Dhabi, and we pay you this much fucking money.
No, bro. They fight in New York.
Can
you imagine?
Can't fight in New York. They can't have fans here.
Well, they don't have fans anywhere.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They don't have fans anywhere. It doesn't matter. It's about Conor Khabib. If Conor beats Dustin, and then they set up a Khabib Conor fight.
Yeah,
it's the energy. You know what I'm saying?
I think.
But you don't think that Conor's going to beat Dustin? I
don't know, man. Dustin's so good, and he's gotten so good, man. Yeah. Dustin is so good. He hits so hard, and his boxing's so sharp, and his jiu-jitsu's top level. But
sometimes you put people in the ring, and they just look different.
If he jumps a guillotine on Conor,
ever looked.
If he jumps a guillotine on Conor, Conor's done.
Yeah, 100%.
But at the same time, he's also got that little big brother mentality going on where he's like, oh, this guy beat me up already. So that might get into his head a little bit. Like, can't let him hit me. Last time he hit me, he knocked me out. Like, because that's always going to be in his head. But that was at 145 pounds. They're fighting at 155 now.
And
that first fight was featherweight, which means Dustin had a much bigger weight cut, which means Dustin's brain was drier.
But Connor looked pretty fucking depleted at 45 too. When you look at Connor at 45, it's hard to remember him getting down to. Connor at 45 looks like he's got the size 19 waist.
Yeah, he does.
And he's just
and his lats are still fucking
and his stomach's like sunk.
Yeah,
and he's got this. And he's so fucking wide.
Cheekbones.
People don't know.
He's a big guy.
Connor's a big fucking dude. The dude's got big size. Fucking head.
Mm-hmm.
He's wide. He's got broad shoulders.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
But Dustin's a motherfucker, son.
Dustin's good too, man. We'll see.
We'll see what the fuck happens.
We'll see.
So,
I got some miscellaneous.
I
got a couple miscellaneous things.
What you got?
Subaru is coming out with a new BRZ. You know the
I don't know what that
do you know
is.
what the BRZ was?
No.
It was it's like a 2-door like little sporty car, but it's not super expensive. The only other Subaru makes, that they're notorious for their like all-wheel drive, like great to drive in the winter, good all year round.
They're STI.
Exactly.
Yes.
They also have a BRZ that's like their new tuner car, like their sports car.
Okay.
They're coming out with another one. Toyota competes with them. They make an FRS. Toyota hasn't released their FRS yet, but now today, the new BRZ just got released. The images of it. It looks pretty cool. It looks similar to the 2020 Supra in a way. It's wide. They're not traditionally expensive cars. I don't think this one's going to be much more expensive than the last one. And they just released the pictures today, and I think it looks pretty good.
Dope. Is it? It's going to have like good specs and shit. It's going to.
I didn't. It's funny. I should have looked into what it was going to be, but like the last one wasn't fast, so I didn't think this one was going to be fast.
So it's not meant to start off fast. It's meant for you to be able to tune
You could, yeah. It's like a very entry level car. It's a car you get a kid in high school so he doesn't kill himself. My opinion. People that have fucking BRZs out there are going to be like, my car's fucking fast. It's not really. It's not really unless you.
Not really, bro. Stop it.
Unless you put something else in it. They got this like. And when I say not fast, I'm talking about like fast cars are fast. I'm not talking about if your BRZ could do 12 seconds in a quarter mile. I'm saying like that's not. I'm talking about fast cars. Fast
by means of race car fast.
Yeah, exactly. Like but they're cool looking cars. They're cool for a high school kid. Like I said before. And speaking of cars, Formula D season, the Formula Drift Pro League, and like all there is over now. They just had their last event the day before yesterday.
That's that big ass race.
That's like so Formula D. Imagine like the NFL of drifting.
Okay.
And they have like a series, and they go around the country and they go track to track, and the same people like compete at every event
on different tracks.
Oh,
that's a pretty fair way to do it.
Yeah, so what it is you could be from Florida, wherever you are. We get 32 people. They broke it. They didn't take everybody this year because of COVID, and it started really late in the season. So I think that I want to say it took like 64 or 32 people, and they all just go to the track, and there's rules and regulations, and they drift and have their competition, and then they do it all over 2 days. A top 32, then top 16, top 8, and then the finals, so on and so forth. And then you gain points throughout the competition.
Okay.
And you could win an event, or you could win the all over.
And then, so I imagine each event is worth points, and
exactly.
And then we probably get down to not only winning but track time and
exactly.
So each thing's worth more.
Super. When it's interesting because when you talk about racing, it's such a rich man's game. It's not something that we talked 2 weeks ago about basketball and how it's like a sport that anybody could go and buy a basketball or get a used basketball, and you don't need friends to play it. It's not like baseball. Racing. Not only do you need to go somewhere and do it, you need to get the money, the resources. You break things like nobody's business. Yeah. Go into the track. Let's say you got the car, right? You got the car already, even though the car is probably the most expensive thing. People spend hundreds of millions of dollars on cars.
And now that's just getting it to race status,
Yeah.
race preparedness.
Yeah, so you drop
Not
30
including
grand.
repairs.
Yeah, you drop 30 grand into an already existing $20,000 car, and then
So now we're at 50 grand.
and then maybe you have a mediocre race car. You don't got like a Pro Series race car.
Okay.
and-
First time you race it, how much shit breaks?
exactly.
You need
Then
tires.
every
What do you
time.
need?
Yeah, dude, tires, gas, the paying to get into the event.
Oil. I'm sure you have to do more frequent oil changes when you're beating on the car like
all
that.
the expenses, yeah, 100%. So, obviously there are cars that you could buy where you could, they're weekend warriors. You drive them to the track. But to be competitive, the competitive guys,
Yeah.
they're breaking shit. They're going all out.
The guys that
So,
take it for real.
It's a rich man's game, and it's not easy to get into. There's grassroots events, but they're not like as big. There's not huge money into it. So to watch something like Formula Drift, it's interesting. It used to be a little more grassroots, not really anymore. Now it's being like people with big names behind them. Ford, Njuku Racing, like bigger names.
So we're looking at corporate sponsorships.
Yeah, I guess Njuku's not as big as Ford, but that's just the first name that came to my head because the Ford, but the monster cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, Valvoline or whatever. Valvoline's got a car, these like bigger companies. Valvoline's also got a NASCAR car, so that they're a big name.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's everything. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go because I wanted to. Did you see the thing about Dave Chappelle?
Bro, I was just about to bring that up.
Were you gonna bring that up?
Absolutely.
So you could bring it up.
So I had been watching Dave Chappelle since it was on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
I've been watching the show. Season 1, I watched it from the first episode all the way through. Watched season 2. I watched all that shit. I have it on fucking DVD sets from when they released it. I've woken up to the Chappelle Show, the DVD menu a million fucking times. I can't even tell you how many times.
Yeah.
So I was fucking aroused when I saw that shit on Netflix.
Yes.
My girl had never seen the Chappelle Show.
What?
She never saw the Chappelle Show.
She never saw the Chappelle
She
Show.
saw the Chappelle Show. So I had been telling her stories. Like there was a few times like we'd be out and I'm like, I'm Rick James, bitch. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, Unity. I'm like, what if 5 fingers say to the face? Slap. You know what I'm saying?
Blouses.
And she's always like, what? And I'm like, yo, you. She's like, I would love to watch it. But I'm like, who the fuck has a DVD player? Like I have these DVDs. They're still at like my mom's house, I think. And I'm like, I don't have a DVD player, but I'll damn sure go get one to show you this. So when I saw it on Netflix, the TV show, I said, oh shit, fucking God is telling us
to watch
that you're going to watch this shit.
Yeah.
So we've been watching it. She was cracking up at the whole Rick James thing. She was cracking up at fucking Clinton Bixby.
Oh my
Clayton
God.
Bigsby.
Yes.
She was crying. So I was like, okay. I said, these are like classic Dave Chappelle. I said, wait until like we start getting into, more of the stuff. So today I come to find out and Netflix pulled the entire show at Dave Chappelle's request.
Yep.
Dave Chappelle said he wanted it taken down.
Yep.
So why did he want it taken down? He did an entire post.
Mm-hmm.
He showed an entire bit that I don't know if he's been working on it. I don't know what it's from. And it's about a 20-minute, I think it's like 18 to 20-minute explanation of why he pulled it. And it really came down to he referenced a couple of experiences from his early life. He referenced you don't really know where the story's going at first. So did you watch it?
I listened to a snippet of it.
I watched the whole thing.
I didn't listen to the whole thing.
So he was explaining, when I was growing up, I started doing stand-up comedy when I was 14 years old or whatever. And he said he did a joke and he said people were, impressed that I was even this young, able to do it. He said some comic that was an older man came up to me and asked me if he could borrow my joke. One of my jokes that was a hit. So he watched the joke. So he let him use it. He's like, yeah, you can go to another place and use it. He said, then I did a tour when I was 18. He said, or no, I think it was a little later. No, I skipped a part. I'm sorry. So he's still younger. And he said he runs into this guy another night. He said the guy goes on before him and says his joke. So he's like, hey, man, like when he comes off stage, like, that's my joke. And he's like, yeah, I forgot to ask you if I could use it again. And he's like, no, he's like, that's my joke. Like, you can't use it. So he's like, I'll buy your joke for $50. And he's like, no, you can't buy it. So he said, then at that point, he intimidated him and he was like, listen, motherfucker, I'll just take that shit from you. You ain't doing shit. What the fuck are you going to do? You a little ass kid. Pretty much. Like, that's the interaction that took place. And he was like, damn, I felt so powerless and blah, blah, blah. He's like, I'll never forget that. Da, 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 da. So he says, that's when I learned that people that have power over you will flex their power on you and take what they want if you won't give it to them. Then he references another experience where he was older, 18 years old, and he does has $60. He explains it so funny. He's like, he was going to meet a girl, and when he went to meet the girl, he on the way there, he saw a guy doing 3-card Monte on the street in New York City. So he's like, yo, I come with the $60. He's like, I've been watching it the whole time. The card that's red has the corner bent. He's like, there's a little bend on the corner. He's like, everybody's missing it. So he comes over and he's like, yo, so he's like, $60, bam, does this shit, picks the card with the bent corner, he flips it, it's black. You're supposed to find a red card. And he was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? He's like, he took my money. He's like, so now I was like, oh, I can't believe this shit. You're like, oh man. He's like, so I sat down and I watched him. He said, then I started to realize everybody in the crowd that was betting and talking was in on the fucking game. He said they were all in on it. And I was the only one that didn't know. So then he goes on to say, later on in like contracts and things that he signed with Comedy Central and stuff, he said he found that he felt he was in the same experience. What if all these lawyers and everybody knew everything that was going on and I was the only one out of the game?
Damn, that's a super interesting way of looking at it.
Super interesting way.
I got hit with one of those fucking shell games in Germany one time. Lost fucking 200 euros.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
I never felt.
Yeah,
I felt so
magicians,
stupid, bro. Felt so dumb, bro. And you know what they say to me? They're like, win your money back. Put up 200 more. And I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we're gonna get this little mom out.
Yeah, I said I was born at night, but not last night.
So anyway, long story short, Dave Chappelle is like, yo, I told him to pull it. He said he also found out HBO was streaming it.
Yes, not just HBO. It was HBO, and excuse me, I'm not being rude.
No, it's all right.
I'm seeing how long we've been live.
No, it's all good. How long have we been live?
111.
Really?
1 hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? So
Dave Chappelle, first he said he called Netflix and he told Netflix the whole story about. So what happened was that when he decided that he was going to leave the Chappelle show, he had to sign contracts. He had signed papers, and when he decided to leave, they didn't have to pay him anymore. And the way Dave said it,
in the contract, it states they can use his name and likeness throughout all parts of the universe. This is what contracts say, because I've been through this shit with like friends of mine and producers and shit. That's real.
Yeah. So they decided, and not only that, but they don't have to pay him for because they can
use his likeness.
And they were supposed to be paying. I think that he was supposed to be getting paid in general for when you get your check, when you get signed at $100 million, you don't just get all that money. Like some of it comes in like quarterly or whatever the case may be.
No, I think he was referring to Netflix and HBO weren't paying him.
No, I know that they weren't paying him
for streaming the show.
But when I think. Okay, so maybe that's possible, but the way I've interpreted it was that he didn't get paid anymore for the Dave Chappelle show.
No, because he signed a contract that allowed them to license the show and his name and likeness without paying him.
And then because he left, they stopped paying him.
Probably he probably voided the contract.
So what he said, he goes, and what he said was, he was like, is that, and I'm listening to like his stand-up bit when he's talking about this, and he's like, is that okay? He's like, no, it's not okay. He goes, so when I heard that they had the show on Netflix, it really fucking bothered me.
Yeah.
So essentially what we're trying to get, so he said he called Netflix. Netflix have done a deal with him. I think he did like a $50-60 million deal with Netflix.
$50 million for those 2 stand-ups.
$50 million deal with Netflix already. And then the guys at Netflix said, all right. And they pulled the fucking show off of Netflix. Big fucking move. I think it's super cool. I think they've already have an established relationship with him, so it's smarter to do that.
For sure.
And Dave Chappelle's saying now that he wants you to not watch his show.
Yeah, to boycott it, which I will do. And that is the best fucking stand-up comedian, in my opinion, that I've ever seen in my time growing up.
I will gladly pirate the Chappelle show and continue watching it, allegedly.
True. Allegedly, we know some people with some links.
I know a cousin who knew a guy
who at one time knew a link.
Yes.
But did you see the part about HBO?
No, would HBO say something?
He said HBO was also streaming it. HBO Max.
Yes, I knew that. I knew that. But did they stop?
What he said was, you know what's funny? He said when I was pitching a show to Comedy Central, he said first I pitched it to HBO. He said, and it's one thing, you're a bunch of executives, you say, we don't want it, or we do want it. He said, they didn't say either one of those things to me. He said, they looked at me and they said, the hell we need you for?
What?
And he was like, what? And they were like, what do we need you for? Like, get out of here. And like threw him out. He said, and now today, I'm asking you, what the fuck I need you for? He said, y'all are here streaming my shit all these years later.
Damn. When you
please, if you care about me or like me or my comedy at all,
don't watch.
Please don't watch this shit. And I'm like, you got me. I put it on all my social media, bro.
He's a big enough name that if somebody's gonna get it done, it could be Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. Well, he is the epitome of stand-up comedy to me. He really is. Like, I fuck with Rogan's podcast, but Rogan don't really make me laugh in a stand-up.
Not the way
Not how Chappelle does. Bill Burr used to make me laugh, but now he's all fucking like hokey honky dory and shit with the fucking TV networks because he's got these cartoons and shit. He's not the same Bill Burr that he was.
Make me laugh the way
his last stand-up. It was all right. It wasn't as bad as Kevin Hart's new one, but you know what I'm saying.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched it. Watched it with my girl.
Is it weird that I really don't fuck with Kevin Hart?
I fuck with him for what he stands for, but I
like him as a human being.
He don't really make me laugh.
I like him as a human being. I think he can continue doing his thing. I hope he makes even more money than he's already making. I'm not being a hater, but Kevin Hart is Kevin Hart in every movie. He's the same character. His stand-ups, I don't like them. They're like all the same.
Yeah, they're not very funny. There are some funny parts, but that doesn't make you think that your stand-up special is funny. You got to give me more than 45 funny seconds.
I want you to rip it the whole time.
In an hour.
I want it to be like Run Tell That. I want it to be like Martin Lawrence.
Well, we're not going to get that anymore. Let's keep it a stack. You're not going to get that. You're not.
It won't be like the Kings of Comedy. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get, Steve Harvey and
D.L. Hughley.
And D.L. Hughley was the least funny out of those guys. Bernie Mac was on fire.
Listen, but even though D.L. Hughley was the least, think about that.
Yeah, he was the worst.
He was the worst. Imagine that.
Better than anything we got.
And yes.
Yeah. So, I really respect him enough to just.
Yeah, I can't believe you said that. D.L. Hughley's a funny motherfucker. But I can't disagree with you.
The least funny out of those three.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. When Cedric was driving the fucking...
No, it's definitely not Cedric.
He was like,
I was going to say Harvey.
Yo, come on. Yo, Steve Harvey's funny too, bro.
He's more of an icon, though.
Not Family Feud, Steve Harvey.
Bro, I'm talking about
shark suit, microphone head, perfect ass fucking hair Steve Harvey. Not bald Steve Harvey.
I don't know bald Steve Harvey.
Dr. Phil Steve Harvey's weird.
Listen, I know Steve Harvey from... What was the show called? It wasn't the Steve Harvey show.
Steve Harvey show.
Is that when he was a teacher?
Yeah. Romeo got killed by his fucking girl in real life.
What?
Romeo, the main character from the show?
I know. Bullethead.
Romeo and Bullethead?
I remember Bullethead.
Was his man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Bullethead was his man. Like, yo, Mr. Harvey. Romeo in real life got killed by his fucking girl. She shot him and killed him.
Damn.
In real fucking life. Cold motherfucking world, bro.
Damn.
I'm telling you right now, son.
People who get killed by their loved ones, that's a crazy situation.
Isn't it crazy that his man's name was Bullethead and he got shot?
Conspiracy?
I don't know.
The Blade Runner?
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
The Blade Runner, South African legend.
I think he got shot.
And then shot his girl through a door.
Oh, yeah.
Lover on lover crime. But crazy. Let's go back to what we were saying.
What's that?
Dave Chappelle. People say Dave Chappelle doesn't want anybody to watch his show.
Yeah, so
watch the Chappelle show.
If anybody that's watching this, anybody that cares at all about stand-up comedy, about entertainers being paid appropriately, because I support that 100%. They entertain the shit out of me. They deserve to get paid.
Yeah.
I mean, I send money to Patreons. I send money to YouTube channels. I send money to people that I appreciate their content. I buy things. I buy merch.
I buy merch.
Like, I'm not going to talk to you about this. I got something in the works that I'm going to get for us. I haven't told you yet. But because I like to buy merch and support people.
Yeah.
So you know, like I support Dave Chappelle. It's very simple. Don't watch the show. You know, I already own the DVD set. So,
which he probably got money for it at that time.
Yeah, he probably got some kind of tiny royalty, but you know, that's a different way. So I'll watch it probably on my PlayStation 2.
And he said, don't watch it until they pay me.
Yeah, he said, don't watch it until they pay me. And I think that this should be powerful enough to really make a change. I think this right here will show these media companies
who's fucking
that, you know, they don't really run the world.
No, they don't.
Still, we one day of people boycotting, like if we were not just the show, if we could get 100,000 people to not watch Netflix for one day,
some of these companies
that's
can't
tens of millions of
survive.
dollars of
Some of
revenue.
these companies can't survive a couple of days of nobody.
No, they couldn't.
Just like there's restaurants and
Sure.
supermarkets and businesses all around the world
that they're shutting down for COVID.
that will have to
crushing
shut
the
down
economy.
completely
Yeah.
if they miss a couple of days. What do you think will happen to Amazon if they were down for a week?
They would lose a ton of profit, but I still think they'd be able, even if they closed.
They wouldn't. I'm not saying they're going to. Everybody out there is like, you're a fucking idiot. You think they're going to close down? No, I don't think they're closed down. But I think good things would change. I think a couple people getting fired, a couple cut down this, cut down that, and they'll probably bounce back quickly. But even them, a giant like them, would be hurt by being shut down for a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean they make so much revenue. He's developing a space program and shit.
I know.
I mean they generate so much revenue that just a small hiccup in that revenue will alter their plans. Because when you have that big of an amount of cash flow coming in, you start to buy a lot of shit. You
Why
start to
didn't you
start a
think of
lot of
that?
shit. Huh?
Why didn't you think of that Amazon idea?
I don't know. I think I was like still like how old was I? I don't know. That's
How
a
long
great
has
idea.
Amazon been
I'm
out?
sure that we've had incredible, brilliant ideas, but it's about execution. It's not
100%.
about talking about it and thinking of the idea. It's actually about getting it done. So what are you watching right now on Netflix aside from this Dave Chappelle thing? Anything going on?
I'm watching Survivor, believe it or not. Survivor's back. It was never on Netflix, but it's like they've rebirthed
They
it.
licensed it.
They've got two.
So these are the old episodes, yeah.
the old episodes. They got 2 seasons, and we started watching them, and they're kind of nostalgic in the sense that, like, you know, that style of show,
Mhm.
that like game show kind of thing, but it's like reality television game show thing. It's like Legends of the Hidden Temple combined with Real World.
Combined with Manhunt.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. We're watching that, and before we watched that, we were watching The Queen's Gambit.
Fuck, man. That's on my fucking mind. That's what we started watching.
Do you like it?
Oh my God, I love it, bro.
It's so good.
You kidding me?
My
It's so
only
good.
issue with these Netflix shows is that we watch them in like a weekend.
And then it's gone.
Yeah, we eat through the whole thing. We've already watched the whole first one, not the first season because it's not the first season of Survivor. They're showing like 2 random seasons, but we watched the first one that they put out. Now we're watching the second one.
All right. But you finished The Queen's Gambit?
I finished The Queen's Gambit. Yeah,
Wow. Okay, don't tell me. We only watched like the first few episodes.
it's
But
really
God
good.
damn it, that's good, man. For anybody that doesn't know about it, I'm not going to ruin it for you. So no spoiler alert
Yeah,
here.
go on
but
Netflix and watch The Queen's Gambit.
It has nothing to do with royalty
Nothing.
whatsoever. It has to do with chess. It's a young girl that gets nice as fuck at chess, and it'll bring like tears to your fucking eyes.
It's a young
At least
orphan.
it did to me. Just because I'm just like, I'm that kind of person. You know what I mean? I watch shit. I just get so involved in shit that I just get fucking like overwhelmed sometimes. And I'm just like, God damn it. I love an underdog story. I love that kind of shit. It just fucking like, it gets down into my fucking soul, son. You know what I mean? And so just watch it. It's very, very good. I love an underdog story. I love that shit, especially in times when like they didn't let women do things, like, or they didn't let men things, or they didn't do things, or they didn't let like people of color do something, and then they bust through that fucking barrier, and it's a fucking, it just like comes over me like a fucking, like the goddamn ACLS fucking ice bucket challenge. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good show. I'm excited for you to finish it. Cause what episode are you at? Oh, you can't. I don't want to tell you because you'll ruin it for somebody else.
I said that shit wrong. I said ACLS. That's
Yeah.
like, that's a certification
It's
for
ALS.
fucking life support. ALS.
Yeah. I was gonna let that one go. The ALS challenge. Remember we were all doing that.
Yes.
It's a good thing Good thing ALS isn't around anymore. Nobody has that.
You idiot. You're so stupid.
Nobody's dumping water on their heads anymore.
Oh, you watching any other stuff? You watching like any holiday baking stuff? Do you
So
watch
I
holiday
watch-
cooking shows?
Okay, so
Talk to
we
me.
do watch cooking shows. So my television watching time is primarily like with my significant other, with
Same.
my partner.
Same. Otherwise, I'm on YouTube.
Exactly. So when it comes to watching Netflix, or because we don't watch like regular television, so we watch like Netflix. We watch like HBO, Netflix, or
Sure, Hulu.
Hulu, stuff
Prime
like that.
Video.
We watch streaming subscriptions.
Same.
That's
what I watch. My girl watches a lot of Bravo.
Yeah.
So carry on.
Bravo's good. We were watching, so before the Queen's Gambit, we were watching the Great British baking show or whatever.
British TV is kind of ass on those things.
It's just like an English version of like the Bake Off, because before that one we were watching like the Cupcake one, the Cupcake Wars.
Yeah.
And then before that
Rush.
one we were watching is Chopped the cooking show on Netflix?
Bro, you want to talk about Chopped? Chopped is on Hulu, I think. Chopped is our favorite show.
Really?
Absolutely.
Do you guys like Hulu?
I hate the interface. It's very difficult to navigate. It's fucking stupid and hard to understand, but my girl seems to have figured it out.
Which Hulu subscription do you have?
The one with the commercials that comes with Spotify.
I fucking hate Hulu commercials. How dare you give me fucking commercials?
I pee a lot.
Fuck that. All right, listen to this.
It's free, quote unquote.
It's not. You're paying for it. Why are
paying
they
for
giving you
Spotify.
commercials?
Aren't you?
Who, me? I
Yeah.
don't have Spotify.
So you're just paying for Hulu with commercials?
I fucking cut my Hulu off because it's dog shit. It didn't have what we wanted to watch.
Did you ever watch A Handmaid's Tale?
Yes. I didn't
No,
watch
you
that
didn't.
depressing shit.
You watched the you watched the whole shit?
I didn't watch the whole shit.
Because I'll tell you what, it's
yeah.
happening in America right now.
Our girl loved that show for
That's-
a little bit.
Fucking show is amazing. How
Dude.
dare you? How fucking dare you?
It was just
son.
depressing, bro. I couldn't watch that shit
You're
anymore.
depressed? You didn't get far enough in that shit.
Maybe that's what it is.
Ooh,
Is it
God
crazy?
damn it. That is the fucking like second best show in creation.
I only got like 3 episodes in. I got
Three
to
episodes in, watch your fucking mouth.
I-
You call that shit depressing after 3 episodes?
Bro,
Don't listen
I
to
got
this
to
man.
watch this guy dig his side bitch out while holding his wife's hands. I was like, whoa.
It's not his side bitch. Do you understand the story of the show?
That bitch lives in okay.
What's the story of the show? Tell me.
Okay, there's a man.
This might be a bit of a spoiler alert. So if you want to watch The Handmaid's Tale,
I watched 3 episodes. This ain't gonna spoil
Yeah.
nothing for you.
I'm gonna spoil the shit out of it.
There's a guy and a girl. They live together. They're married. If you commit a crime in this world, then they punish you by making you live with somebody and have their babies for them. And this girl must have did some shit at some point, and she was living with this husband wife, and instead of the wife having the baby, they have like what's equivalent to a surrogate. But this surrogate doesn't really want to be a surrogate, and it's not like she's getting paid to be a surrogate. And the guy, the way he gets her pregnant is not by some like insemination. It's by physical. What do they call that? Physical insemination?
Fucking rape.
They call,
Like,
they call it rape.
fuck. Not
Yeah.
that it's funny, but fuck, that's what we're talking about
And
here.
he's essentially raping her every single time in his wife's presence.
But they mask it as a ceremony. It's fucking sick.
yeah. And
But that's not what's good about it. What's good about it is fucking. Go ahead, keep going.
you want me to ruin it for people?
You're not gonna ruin it. Didn't you watch 3 episodes?
I'll ruin it because I just know things by being on the internet.
So you want to go into a little bit about the premise? So the premise of the show is this is a point in time in America where for some reason a lot of women become infertile. A lot of women cannot have children.
Okay.
Okay. So and a lot of times
Oh, his wife is barren?
she can't have kids.
Oh.
So that's what happens. So and so the people of means, people with money, people with political connections, people with shit like that. Because what happens is America was in a tough time. So this group called the Gilead took
Okay.
over. They started taking over small sections, starting small chapters around the country, changing the rules, changing the way shit goes within their little thing. And then they got so big that they fucking like kind of overthrew the government.
Ooh.
So now you have the Gilead, which now That's the government, essentially. So they have these people called commanders and stuff and positions within the government. These people are people with means and money. So they're infertile wives. Now the family wants to have children. So what did they do? They go and they take women that have committed adultery, done things that are not necessarily crimes, but are things that they might be found to be immoral because, of course, it's run by some kind of religious ideology.
Yeah. So
right?
if you're caught twerking in the street.
Yeah, if you're caught twerking, you know, you got something going on, a little G-string hanging out while you grab something off the bottom shelf at the supermarket, something like that. And they're like, oh, you know, oh, you have kids. That's what they did is they found out everybody that had kids, separated them from their kids. So they not only took their...
Wait, she has kids?
Yes. They took her kids away and put them with another family. And she had kids. You see the flashbacks and she's got a husband and shit, you know.
Is the driver her husband?
No. Her husband, she got taken from her husband. Like they go back and you see all that. Like she gets like...
I don't want you to ruin it for me.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it.
Good.
You should fucking watch it. So... Then there's this, so a lot of the, like, they call them handmaids. So now they take these women that are fertile but have committed a crime or done something immoral, and they assign them to a fucking rich family that can't have kids.
Yeah, and then they fuck them to death.
Now they just, not to death, because then that would
Is there a sentence?
You're just with them forever. No, you're just like a breeder now.
So they do fuck them to death. Because they just fuck them until they die.
They go to and then you provide that family with a child, and then they send you to another family.
Oh,
and then you go there, you get fucked over there until you that's a terrible word. You end up
they cycle them?
Oh my God, they cycle them, bro, and they send them around and shit, and they get broken down in this like academy first. They get broken down by this Miss Trunchbull looking lady from Matilda. She looks just like that. Yeah. And she just be fucking these bitches up. Anything they do something crazy, like they'll take a bitch's eye out, all kind of shit like that to make you fucking listen. And then there's that one gangster, the main chick. She don't play she just like eats it. Like the whole time she's just like getting raped, just like plotting like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Like, fuck y'all motherfuckers. Like,
yeah, can you imagine?
Ooh, bro, I get chills, bro. Look at my hairs, bro. Look at my arms, bro. That shit bro, that shit is such a crazy story to me, man. And then you got low-key people that are like, yo, this shit is wrong. I'm gonna help you. Shit. Like, so then she starts to find out like the inner workings and like, holy shit, not everybody's into this. You know, it starts like she starts making friends with this person, and they're like, yeah, there's a couple kids over here. We're trying to save them and shit. She's like, you're trying to save these children? Like, and it's just back and forth. And she gets enthralled in this underground, like railroad type of shit, essentially, escaping from this slavery type of an existence to get to freedom and shit. And everybody's trying to get to Canada.
Don't tell me too much.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm telling you. So you're trying to get out of America, trying to get to over the Canadian border.
Can you imagine? And is it like this? Like
it's
the richer people get the ones who haven't had that many kids, and then like the less money you got, you get the one that had like 4 or 5 kids.
Oh, probably.
That shit,
I'm sure.
It's worn out already.
Something like that. Sure, I'm sure that there might have been a detail like that I missed. You know, there's another.
You watch the whole thing?
Oh yeah, there's another season coming out. Me and my girl like fucking got a bottle at the house waiting for when that shit fucking comes. I'm popping that shit open. I'm calling out sick, and we're watching the whole fucking thing, man. That I'm telling you, it's such a good show to me. It's like the actress, she's so good, and the way they shoot it, man, the cinematography, like they shoot her so up close, and like for you to act in a frame this big. Oh my God, bro. You just see her face, like her eyes tell the whole fucking story. She didn't even have to say words, man. She doesn't even have to say words, man. You just like read her mind from her eyes and like her tears and just the way she just like swallows like whatever kind of emotion she feels because she's like, play it cool. This is a long game. Like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Does she have to do housework and shit too?
No, they have someone called they have other woman, like servant woman that lives in the house too, but they're not as low as like what they low in the pecking order as the handmaid. They're called Marthas.
Oh, the handmaid's lower?
Yeah, the handmaid is like lower. It's like Borat. It's like, oh, dog, rat, handmaid. You know, like it's like that. You know, so they're like the lowest on the totem pole. But God, and there's a couple gangster ones that like don't give a fuck. They get
do they meet up with each other? They know each other?
Oh yeah, they low key like in the grocery store they talk. But then what they do is the Gilead makes you walk with a snitch bitch, like another handmaid that's man scared. That used to be like a crackhead, and she's like, this is the best my life has ever been.
Oh,
so they'll pair like a bold bitch that might just really might just get up the fuck out of here.
With a fiend that's going to snitch.
With a fiend that's like, yo, shut the fuck up. You better stop. This is the best my life ever been, bitch. I was getting fucked behind a dumpster before these motherfuckers took me in. Like, cut your shit or I'm going to tell on you. It's like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy network, man. It's goddamn, it's so compelling, man. It's so compelling. And goddamn, the women in the show are so fucking strong. It's like, it's like empowering, bro. You got to watch it. You got to watch it, man. You really, really have to, man.
You convinced me.
I suggest that you watch it. It's very good. If you can get past, because it is pretty fucking terrible. Like you don't see the sexual assaults occurring, but it's pretty goddamn clear what's going on. So
yeah, no, rape doesn't bother me. I should be fine.
Yeah, how dare you retract that shocking
kidding.
statement. Fucking back.
I'm kidding.
But
rape is terrible.
But if you watch it, bro, and you understand, like, just think about it. Just think about your life. Put yourself in that scenario. Like, I put myself in that scenario. I'm like, if they fucking like knock me out cold, I wake up and my fucking girl is gone, and I know this Gilead thing is a thing.
Oh my god,
bro. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I want to know where this motherfucker was at. That's what I want to know. I want to know where this motherfucker was at, because I'd be riding out. They'd have to gun me down at the border.
Yeah.
They'd have to gun me.
Well, there's a love affair in the show, right?
There's so how far did you get?
I know about the driver.
Yeah, it's just
okay. So I watched 3 full episodes. Okay, but I slept through multiple seasons. All right, so with my girl watching it.
Spoiler alert. So it's a love affair, but not quite a love affair. It's more just like a terrible situation.
I know about the driver.
Like it kind of reminds me of like people that start relationships in prison. It's like such a fucking like, this isn't what you do. Like whether it be females with females or males with males, or males that end up dating the correction officer female, or female inmates that date them.
That's a thing. I told you.
It is a thing.
There's a scientific thing that the nurses are more likely to fall in love with their patients because they're just like caring for them or some shit. There's a thing.
I've never heard of that. I've heard of it, but it's not. Again, it happened in The Notebook. Come on.
She was a nurse?
You didn't remember when she was taking care of that dude that was in the war? And then she ended up going and marrying him?
I wrote you every day.
Yeah. She went to go be with him. She was about to like marry him and shit. You don't remember? And then he's building a house and she's with that handsome ass Superman looking dude. You don't remember the guy that looks like fucking like Man of Steel?
Okay. I know about that.
He's like the handsomest guy in Hollywood.
But they were together before he left to the military, weren't they?
No. And
then he left to the military.
No, he went away. They split up and everything. And then she was like taking care of injured people in the war. Okay. And one of the guys was like all wrapped up. You couldn't see his face. He was like all wrapped up, but she took such good care of him and shit. And he was like, when I get better, I swear I'm going to come ask you out. We going to go out to dinner or something. And
was that the dude?
Not the main guy.
That wasn't the bearded man.
It wasn't what's his name? You know the guy.
Handsome ass motherfucker. I don't know his name.
Yeah, you know the guy. Like every girl's hall pass. The fuck's his name?
I don't know his name. I love the memes.
Whatever.
That the movie where there's like,
that's a great movie.
Just tell me. It's like when your girl asks you what do you want? What do you want?
What do you want?
That's such a crazy movie.
Bro, that's a great movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I can't watch it without getting emotional.
That is a really good
It's one of the best movies ever in fucking history. And because of my friends that are clinical, it's like, and that understand dementia and understand that this is a real thing, and people that have had family members that have dementia, it's so emotionally taxing to watch somebody stand in front of somebody that they were with for 50 years and they have no idea who they are.
Oh my God.
It's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Or children that were raised, they're 35 years old, 40 years old. They have their grandkids. They have their children with them who are their parents' grandkids, and they have no idea who they are. It's fucking terrible. It's terrible. I had a grandmother who had Alzheimer's, my mom's mother. And I watched my mom watch her not know who she is, and watched her throw her out of the room. Who's this stranger in my room? And it's like, this is your mother. This is your mother. This is the woman that raised you. I mean, that to me is it's really not. It's really terrible. So that movie like hits me in so many different like ways. Plus I like love the shit, out of my girl, that it's like that versus that. Those two things, I'm like, oh, I'd be living in this fucking place too.
This could happen to you.
I'm like, yo, I would be living in this fucking nursing home. Yeah. Hell fucking yeah. He lives in there with her. You know that.
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Like he lives in there. Like you trying to tell me that you know, I'd fucking be in there I'd fucking be there. Hell yeah. It's my wife. What the fuck you mean?
No,
It's my girl. And they're like, you got to leave mom alone. And he's like, that's my sweetheart in there. I'll never fucking leave her. You know, like that's some gangster ass shit. Too bad the guy never wrote another fucking book or anything that ever loaned itself so well to a movie.
Well, speaking of books, Ready Player 2 is coming out.
What's that?
The book. You remember, you seen the movie Ready Player 1?
No. What is that? Am I like a fucking retard? Look, you're looking at me like you want to pepper spray me in the face and kick
No,
me
it's just a really good movie about an advanced society like America in 201, where this guy, he's playing in a video game, and it's a VR video game, but it's like VR interactive, like you're running around in the game, like like he's in the game. It's hard to explain, but you got to watch it. It's a really good movie. It was a book, like all great movies.
How dare you?
Excuse me.
Am I boring you?
No, I used to have a fucking teacher in high school that used to get pissed
If you yawned. It's a fucking disrespectful as fuck.
Is
I'm
it?
only kidding. No, I'm only kidding. You can't control it. It's a human thing.
Yeah, right. I'm like, it doesn't.
About to yawn right now.
Yeah, yawns are
They're in now.
Yeah, but no, it's fucking late. You know what I'm saying? He just looked at me so disappointed.
For anybody that's not on the East Coast, it is 10:19 p.m. So how late do you think that is? They used to ask you 20 minutes ago where your children are. You remember that growing up?
Yeah.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? What a challenge that is to being a parent.
Yeah, imagine when you don't know where your kids are. Wait, I want to go full circle with what I was saying.
Finish, please.
What was I saying? Uh-huh. Yeah. I was talking about...
Check the live chat on Twitch.
I was talking about...
Somebody help us out. Send a message to the fucking goddamn... Why do I look so pale?
I was talking about...
I look like powder.
Oh, Ready Player 2.
Yes, Ready Player 2.
The book is coming out. Yeah, the book is coming out. I'm kind of excited about if like a movie comes out, or that'll be really sweet. But I'm not gonna. I would listen to the audiobook, but I'm not a big reader. I just don't read enough.
I don't read unless it teaches me something specific that I'm trying to learn.
But I do.
I can't read for entertainment.
I do not as much as like other people, but I did listen to a lot of audiobooks when I used to drive into. I used to go to school in Queens. I used to have to drive in at 5 o'clock traffic every single day. So I used to listen to a lot of audiobooks.
That's a good way to do it. I've listened to I need to get Audible or something like that, because
audiobooks are good because it's the same reason I'm not into commercials anymore. I think the commercials, and for the same reason why I don't fucking like Hulu and their commercials. When I had Hulu, I paid like the $12.99 for the non-commercial one, because I can't be what commercials are brainwash. They're scientifically engineered to
make you consume.
And we watch a 22-minute show, and we watch a 30-minute show, and out of those 30 minutes, we're getting 22 minutes of what we actually asked for in 8 minutes. Do we realize that that's like close to 30% of what we're consuming is commercials? Isn't that a little bit ridiculous?
Yeah,
they're up to 20. So what is it? 27, 28, 29%?
Yeah.
Commercials. That's fucking ridiculous that we're watching that much advertisement. People trying to force feed you their shit.
And trying to take money from you.
Fuck off. I'm not going to watch it. I don't watch any of that shit with commercials on it.
See, but it's, to me, that's the trade-off. Is the reason that we watch the commercials on Hulu or don't watch them. I make it a point to not look at the TV when I refuse. I'll mute it and I'll fucking turn around and stare at the wall.
Yeah.
I will not allow them to.
I don't want anybody's opinion on what I should buy, the way I should buy what.
If I have something that I need, I already know what I need.
I don't want to buy Gatorade.
If you're inspiring me to buy something, that means I didn't need it previously because I didn't even know that I didn't have it.
Yeah.
That's like seeing like a 30% off sale. Oh, I better go over there and save some money. How about you save all the money and you don't buy anything? Speaking of that, I just bought my dog a Christmas collar.
Really?
She has a collar for every holiday.
Does it jingle?
Do you want to see her? I also got some antlers for her.
Yeah. Is it gonna come across good on camera? Or you want to just get my reaction?
I'll just show it to you so you can see how cute she is. I have a 65-pound American Bully Blue Nose. She is a gem. She is a dime piece. She is the prettiest yellow bone that you've ever seen. So I'm just going to go ahead and show him this. And I might just get up and show the...
Oh, you could do that, right?
Yeah, I could get up and put it in front of the camera. Why wouldn't I?
That wouldn't be bad at all.
Why can't I? That's my daughter. She really is the nicest freaking, sweetest freaking dog. Lets me do whatever I want.
It's I was talking to my dad today about dogs, and it's interesting because I told my dad I'll probably never own another dog, right?
You'll never get another one? Why is that?
I'll never, just because of how much it's so much work. They're just a lot. It's more of the damn, that's super cute.
Come on, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's actually fucking
I wish
really
I could
cute.
see what this looks like. Do you have the feet up? Can you see?
I
Look
can.
here. Look
Yeah.
right here.
I can. Ready? Oh, that's almost perfect. There you go. Isn't that not the fucking cutest thing you've ever
All
seen?
right, look. Can you see? Those are reindeer antlers and a red and black lumberjack collar on her with no hat to match.
That's super cute.
Come on, man. I mean, my dog is really she's the sweetest dog that you've ever seen. And yeah, that's just it. So I'm out here fighting for the culture because people want to outlaw my breed of dog and fucking
It's
put
so
her down and shit
ridiculous.
like that. Meanwhile, she almost gets attacked by a fucking 6-pound dog every single day and has so much restraint. I feel like telling the owners, like, that my dog could rag your fucking dog, eat it, and shit it out before you get around the block.
It's always the fucking smaller dogs, these like, or not even the smaller dogs that just act fucking crazy.
Agreed.
I have a smaller dog, and
a fucking goddamn Pegasus.
I have two dogs. I have a small dog and a big dog, and my smaller dog is just a fucking jerk off.
His big dog is not just a big dog. Tell him what you got. It's 100 and what?
He's about $120.
He's bigger than that. You had to wait him in a long time.
He was so big that we couldn't get him on the scale at the vet. So I go to like a mobile vet because I'm a poor boy. They go to Petco every Saturday and Sunday. They go there, and they're not even a vet. They just give shots. So they're really like phlebotomists. But when you get, they just give dog shots. So they're not phlebotomists. They're hairdressers. So when you go there, they have to take the weight of your dog to like administer medicine. That's so disrespectful, right? They wear scrubs. How dare me? They're front line. So, anyways, this person, I feel like they always hire drug addicts as assistants. Everybody that works in a pet shop is a dope fiend. For the most part, these like shitty pet shops, they're always
allegedly.
There's always mad fiends in the pet shop, right? Because fiends love animals. So they got this one dope fiend fucking trying to get my dog on this fucking little human-sized scale. And he's trying to get my dog on this scale. And my dog just doesn't fit on the scale. At the vet, with the real vet I go to, he has like a huge scale.
Yeah, it's a big plate scale.
You just walk the dog onto it. They have a mobile one, and it's like maybe about a little bit smaller than this table.
So your dog has to get on it like he's a bear on a tricycle.
He just can't can't get on it. It's like he always has one leg off.
So what, you have to pick him up and he's like, just stand on it, we'll weigh you, and then pick him up, get on the scale, and we'll subtract your weight.
He was 115 with a leg down on the ground.
That's 135-pound dog.
So I say he's probably like over, he's plus 120, he's over 120.
Yeah, and what is he?
He's an Argentine Dogo.
So anybody that knows of a Dogo Argentine Dogo, they are a massive breed of dog. Very stoic, very low energy, calm energy until it's time to turn up and hunt.
He's not, and my only problem, and this is why I wouldn't get a dog, right? I love my dog. No, I love one of my dogs. The other dog's a cocksucker. We're not even going to talk about him.
I love one of my dogs.
So the other dog's more like a roommate that just doesn't pay rent. And I gotta let him out and feed him.
Oh my God, fuck off. He sleeps on the couch. Fuck.
So no, one thing I don't like about Rico, who's a Dogo, is just that he sheds, right? So I don't want to clean up when you have a dog, like you want to, it has to be as least work as possible, right? Because then it makes owning the dog easier. And all these pet lovers are out there. Oh, if you can't do what it takes. I walk my dog every day, you stupid bitch.
Yeah.
And I live in New York, all right? It's fucking cold out there. And I'm out there in my Crocs.
It's cold
walking my dog
75% of the time.
Yeah, I walk my dog every day. I get the energy out of him. I do what I need to do. I feed my dog good food. I treat him well. I give him
We
love.
never cropped our dog's ears.
Never cropped our dog's ears. I treat him with love. But the fact that he sheds, I have to clean up after him so often. It's in my opinion, it's just gonna sound terrible, but it's just like juice ain't worth the squeeze, man. Now maybe when I move into a different place and I could have their dogs can have their own area, I would say, oh, I love a dog. But right now, sharing my living room with a dog that sheds and having a tweed couch, it doesn't work out.
No, it doesn't. It's what I've tried to do, because my dog also lets loose some hair. I mean, she sheds, but my dog has a different color coat than yours.
Yeah, it's white. And I'm talking about you rub your hand on him and you could look at your hand and there's hair all over. I have a Dyson vacuum cleaner that I could fill up with white hair.
Yeah, it's
you have to mop and sweep twice. We mop and my wife would watch this and fucking be furious. My wife mops and sweeps in the morning and in the night, in the weekdays, and during the weekends, it's like 3 times a day. And like every time you do it, you get hair. It's unbelievable the amount of hair that this dude deploys, and it's like a wire because they're short hair dogs.
Yeah, mine too.
And it just so it's like it like hooks into the couch.
It's like vacuuming up eyelashes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a fucking
dude. It's crazy. But other than that dog, I love him. He's a real good dog. My other dog, yeah.
It's my dog. I've tried to like brush her and stuff like that. It just doesn't, it doesn't work. I mean, we try. She's fine with the bath. We bathe her and stuff, but that's just a temporary fix.
Oh, she likes the bath?
She doesn't mind it. I mean, she does whatever I tell her to do.
My dog won't go in that bathroom unless there's nobody in it.
See, the thing is, my dog's 65 pounds. My dog's not 150 pounds. So if my dog wants to resist, I just pick her up and put her in there. You forcing a 150 pound dog into the shower is like me trying to resist you forcing me in the shower.
You know what's mad funny?
Think about that. Think about that. Me and your dog are close to the same weight. So imagine you trying to force me into the shower and I'm trying to not let you.
You know what's mad funny is that you were like, oh, I just pick my dog up and put him in the shower. That has never been an option. I can't pick him up.
I scoop her up like a baby on her back.
I can't pick
like this.
No, I can't pick him up at all. Like I can't pick him up.
Bro, he's got a good sprawl. I guess he just fucking drops his weight, drops his
Dude, he just drops his weight and you're just dragging him.
My dog
and he's moaning the entire time. And his moan is like a and my wife is like, why is he making that sound? And I'm like, I'm trying to shower him. Bro, it's obnoxious.
That's
so, and he doesn't, and they're supposed to like the water. They got webbed feet. I got fucking sold the defective dog.
Nah, he likes to shower. It's just, it's just.
Once he's in there, he's in there.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's
get out
it's
and
a
shake.
Different. Yeah, like my dog doesn't do that crazy shit. Like once I put her in there, she just stands there like, oh, what the fuck is going on?
Yes, exactly.
It's not like she's like, ooh, I love the water. Like, she's not like a fucking tree frog. Not a tree frog. Clearly, they don't love the water as much as an aquatic. Or
yeah.
It's my bro science. Forget that analogy.
When I want to tell you something, when I was a kid, one of the dudes in my hood was like, yo, when you shower your dog, you have to shower him with like blistering cold water. Like they don't like warm or hot water. Like it has to be real cold. I'm not fucking kidding.
Who the fuck told you that?
One of my man's Daquan. And he told me, I'm pretty sure it was Daquan. It could have been somebody else, but I'm pretty sure it was him. And he told me, he was like,
maybe he confused when they're mating and they get stuck.
He didn't even have, I don't remember him even owning a dog now. In hindsight, I don't remember him owning a dog.
Well, I'm glad.
But
I'm glad he never owned a dog.
When we got the first dog that will remain nameless, I told my wife that, and she was like, what are you fucking kidding? Are you fucking kidding me, Roberto?
Agreed. I agree with the wife.
She's like, bathe the dog with warm water.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Hit him with some warm water, bro. He's a mammal.
Yeah.
All right, you're not fucking washing a fucking monitor lizard.
I
You're
don't
not
know.
washing a bearded dragon.
If you wash a monitor lizard, bearded dragon, or any of these warm-blooded reptiles in cold water,
Those are cold-blooded animals, aren't they? They're cold-blooded.
they do not have their cold. They don't have the ability to control their.
Yeah, so they're cold-blooded. So you have to heat them, keep them under heating lamps. In order to
exactly.
raise
So if
their
you put
body
them in cold
temperature.
water, you'll
They'll
kill them.
die.
That's what I was gonna say.
Fair
You
enough.
put them in cold water.
So
you
that's
kill
even
them.
worse to bathe them with cold water.
That's like
because
putting
they can't regulate.
Dude,
body
that's like
temperature.
putting a parrot outside. I was walking my dog the other day and a woman stopped me and she had lost her African gray. First of all, good on you for looking for your bird. But when you lose a bird that has the ability to fly, keep in mind that birds migrate seasonally to like across the United States. They'll go from New York to Florida, bro, during the winter months. And you're looking around the block for your fucking parrot in the middle of fucking November. Honey, your bird is dead. I didn't want to tell her this, but it's a tropical bird.
And what kind of bird is it?
It was an African gray.
Exactly. Not an eastern, not a tri-state area.
No,
gray.
this wasn't a New York diesel pigeon.
It wasn't a Brooklyn gray.
No,
All right.
this wasn't a fucking Bed-Stuy fucking Burdeck. This was a fucking African gray.
Yeah. Well, at
I
least
felt
you
so
can talk.
bad.
I thought you were going to say when you lose a bird, I thought you were going to say that has the ability to talk. That's what you were going to say. I was like, yeah, you just asked for directions. He's going to pull up at the corner and be like, "Ma, that crazy bitch, some crazy bitch looking for me. Ma, I'm trying to go down south. Ma, Florida, Poconos. Ma,
I wonder what.
Pennsylvania, I don't know."
I honestly wonder what happened to the bird. And can a bird just come back?
Yeah, sure, it can come back.
Does it know how to get back?
Didn't they used to send him like send messages and shit like messages?
Well, those are
pigeons?
ravens. Totally
Were
different.
those ravens or pigeons?
They do
Ravens.
both of them.
It depends on if we're talking about
Game
real
of
life
Thrones?
or Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Send a raven.
Send the raven. Yes, they did use birds to send messages. And they also like, I think, that's Harry Potter with the owls. So yeah, but so I guess they have like falcons, they train falcons.
Yeah, I mean, birds. My only concern is that I don't know where their instincts land in
Yeah.
terms of like being in captivity for so long. I don't know if they're able to.
I just wonder if they
Adapt.
get lost because, dude, in the fucking Middle East, they hunt with birds. They have like hunting birds.
That's Mongolia.
Mongolia, that's in Asia. Yes, that is in Asia.
I'm not going to commit to any geographical location
It is.
because, as far as I know, Mongolia could be a small area in northern Jersey. I'm not.
I'm gonna
100%
go out
sure.
on a limb and be a little racist.
Yeah,
and
you want to ask
say
me about other
Mongolia
things I might know? That's
is in
something I'm not very good at.
Asia because the Mongolians knocked down the wall.
You sound like the volume in your voice got a little lower. So are you unsure about that? Because it sounded like you were like, well, I think that's like when I don't know somebody's name. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm like, yo, what's his
Wasn't
name?
Genghis Khan Mongolian?
I don't know. My
I know that he was
Instincts wanna
such
tell
a
me yes.
gangster that he fucked so many bitches on his tour of war because that motherfucker went on war with the tribe. Like he wasn't one of these
oh yeah,
stay-at-home
they said
kings.
he's got like a lot of.
They say like 80 some odd % of where he reigned has like his blood, has Genghis Khan
No, I
blood
think
in
it's
them.
definitely like 12% or something, but that's a massive amount.
Is it 12%?
Yeah, it's a very low. It's a lower percentage than what you're saying, but it's still massive in terms of one person.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, nah, that dude was throwing loads all over the goddamn continent.
Dude, and he's fucking fertile, bro. Dude's
Yeah.
got super sperm. Are you fucking
sperm
kidding
got
me,
fucking
bro?
Sperm are like Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
it's all that beef.
Yeah, it's all that fucking, all that oxen or whatever the fuck they were eating, all that wildebeest.
Dude,
Oh,
they were
fuck.
just eating anything.
Um,
They definitely ate horse meat.
what else is coming up? Anything going on in the fucking world?
Thanksgiving is
Astonishing.
coming up.
Oh, the goddamn holidays. That's the holidays.
What
Let
are you
me not
buying for
use
Black
God's name
Friday?
in vain. Huh?
What are you buying for Black Friday?
To be honest with you, I don't 100% know. I know that I have some discounts still that I'm holding on to for North Face. I have 50% discounts that I'm hanging on to. So I'm going to get a couple of parkas probably for mom, dad, the lady. But I really don't know in terms of Black Friday. I think I don't know, man. I haven't really been giving it much thought. What about you? I mean, I know it's fucking days before Black Friday and I haven't thought about shit, but
I'm looking at just like a couple of tech things.
like what?
Like I want to get
Hard drives, video cards.
I do want to. I've been trying to get a video card for months now. I've been trying to get our new RTX 3080, but it's been sold out since early October, late September when it released. I think it released September something, and it's been sold out ever since. And it just gets bought by bots, and the only way I could get it is to pay double on eBay.
Oh, we talked about that. Fucking bots with the concert tickets, but mainly with the tech. That's
bullshit. But I really want to get, I'm thinking about getting some Nest products like the Nest Yale Lock, just smart home products. Maybe I'll get some light bulbs. And
you said like Nest, that. Like home products, like home security products and home.
So like, Google Nest, Google bought Nest now. Nest makes like the.
Nest, you mean like NES or Nest with a T?
Nest.
Okay, like at home, like the Nest. Okay.
Do you know about Nest?
Not really. I don't know too much.
Nest.
God damn it. I'm sorry. Anybody watching that thinks I'm a fucking spaz.
No.
I just don't pay attention to a lot of
Nest
shit.
Nest, all right, so Nest is a line that Google just recently acquired, but they make like smart house shit.
Aren't you scared that Google is monitoring your entire house and watching and seeing everything that you're doing? Because they are.
They are. I have a Google.
I know I fuck with the mic a lot.
It's fine. I have like a Nest thing in every room. There's one in here too. See it right there?
Yeah, that fucking thing is listening to us. I wish you told me it was there.
Yeah, you could put it on Don't Listen, but then it listens even more. We're
putting it on YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
Which is owned by Google. So.
Yeah, but you could put it on Don't Listen, which means really listen.
No, I just unplug it.
We
have an Echo Dot at the house and I just unplug it.
You know what the thing is like, I want to tell you as somebody who works in technology
that everything is watching me, everything's listening to me. And if I think that a Google Nest product is listening to me any more than my goddamn cell phone
or television,
out of my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suck it, bro. Go ahead. More about the Nest.
So I think about getting the Nest. Nest has a collaboration with Yale. Yale makes locks. I might get the Nest Yale lock.
You said Yale, like the university, like the college?
Like the company Yale's a company, they make locks.
Not Yale, like law school.
YALE, spelled similarly.
It's different the same industry. Spelling. Okay, so therefore the trademark means nothing. Carry on.
So they make locks, and Nest has a collaboration with them, and they make a smart lock. So I'm trying to live in the fucking future.
I hear you, bro. Living in the future is living in the past, almost like Orwell's 1984. But, a lot of people are electing to kind of join that movement of giving up entire control to tech in corporate America. But,
I don't feel like I'm giving up any control. I just feel like I'm getting these amenities that I don't need, but I would like.
Sure. Those amenities are awesome. It's just allowing people to track you and trend your behavior. I mean, they know what temperature you like your house. They know when you like the lights on. They know when you're home. They know when you're not. That's the only thing I don't want is I don't want a clear cut concept of me being home or not.
You know what?
My cell phone's going to ping at a tower 2 blocks from my house probably, which is fine.
Yeah.
But that's still assumption. Not that you see me leave the house or that I said I'm leaving.
Well, that was back in the day when cell phones didn't have GPSs in them. Like they ping towers. Like,
my phone is leaving. You don't know that it's me leaving.
I mean, but it is you leaving, and they do know that because nobody leaves their phone anywhere. Just like your phone, my phone used to tell me every day when I got out of work, it would tell me how long it's going to take me to get home.
Yeah, because it connects to your car GPS.
And so, as long as you have a phone, all that goes out the window. But one thing that makes me feel comfortable is that I am very aware of how to turn it all off and just not have to worry about any of it. Like losing it all, like pulling, like whether it's like pulling the cord off of everything and unplugging it all. I don't have a fear that it'll consume me forever because I could just flip the breaker and kill the whole house.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So, but I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just want one of those people that's like, and I get it. Where does it end? It's like you could easily say, well, what am I saying? I'm not a terrorist. I'm not worried. But it's like, where does it end? I get it. I don't know, man. I just want to fucking not have to open my house with a key.
You just want Google to know like what temperature you like your nuts at.
Well, I also have the Nest thermostats, so Google knows the temperature I like my house, and it does a very good job of controlling it and telling me how much energy I save every year because of it.
Yeah. It makes sense.
I like it. I don't. You know what? I don't want it to listen to me. But fuck, if it is listening to me,
it's not just listening. Because what concerns me, I mean, there are things that concern me that I've talked about it. I've gotten into debates with people on Twitter. I've said things on Twitter that have gotten no love and instead gotten a bunch of fucking people messaging me and saying I'm a fucking idiot and shit. At the same time that I've had shit that's been retweeted fucking 50 times because people are like, this is fucking real shit and we're thinking this too. My concerns is, like you were just saying, where's the line? That's my concern because I don't know. I haven't told you this actually. I have a friend, my girl's friend. We were just out for their mutual friend's birthday, or all of our mutual friends' birthday. What's today? Tuesday? Sunday, we went out to a distillery. That's where they had that awesome sign in the bathroom that said, "Don't do cocaine in the bathroom." It said, "Please don't do cocaine in the bathroom." It was embroidered. It was like crocheted into this fucking beautiful frame, and it was framed on the wall. I was like, that shit's amazing. It was right at the hand dryer. I was like, it's fucking incredible. So we went there, and one of her friends was telling me about her issue she just had with Amazon. She said that she just had a package arrived at her door, and it was not something that she ordered. She looked at it, she opened it, but it was addressed to her. She's like, what the fuck is this? She said it was like 20 Samsung screen protectors, like tempered glass. She's like, what the fuck is this? So she looked at it, and her account had been charged. And she's like, what the fuck is this? So right away I was like, oh, somebody hacked your account, ordered something, and didn't change the delivery date. I mean, the delivery address. And she's like, yeah. So that's what I was thinking. She's like, so I looked and they actually charged my account. So I contacted Amazon. Would you believe that she was like, I want all my account information removed. I want my pay information. They said, we can't do that. And she was like, what? And they're like, we can't do that. She said, I want it removed. And they're like, we can't do that. So she's like, I'm going to remove it manually. She's like, yeah, but we still keep
on the back end.
Yeah. And she's like, no, I don't want that. She's like, matter of fact, just erase my whole account. She said, I don't want an Amazon account anymore. And they said, no.
Yeah.
And she was like, wait a minute.
It can never, once you put something on the internet,
I don't give
never
a fuck.
Gone.
As a company, erase my fucking account.
They don't have to.
What do you mean they don't fucking have to?
You made an account with them. You didn't have to.
Oh, so you agree with that?
No, I'm just saying that
you're not the one involved. So as long as it's pointing at somebody else, it's okay.
No, I'm saying that I can see why they said no, and I'm not shocked by it.
Why would you see that they say no? You no longer want the service. You no longer want to be a part of the company, and now they're just going to keep your information and keep all your shit.
So I'm listening to this third party, but what I'm assuming is the reason why they can't delete. They could tell her they're going to delete it, but first of all, once something's digital, it's never deleted.
Well, tell me that. You say, I'm erasing your account from our servers and our information, like what we have about you. But the fact that this information has been trafficked on the internet, we don't know what your browser is that you've been using. We don't know what access people have had.
Not even from that perspective. They have made transactions before. It can't be deleted. What are you going to delete the accounts payable? Like you've made transactions. Well, you can choose not to do business with us anymore. But like what's already happened has happened. What do you want me to make it so that you never ordered anything before? It's impossible. I just can't. From my perspective, it's unthinkable. It's like, lady,
that's a good point.
You want your shit hidden? Change your fucking debit card number. Like, but you've already bought so much shit from us. We can't just make it unexistent.
No, she means that they wouldn't let her erase her name on there. Like, I want like my account, like I want my username, like I want that gone. And they were like, no.
Well, even Facebook, like they like all these accounts and everything, Pokemon Go, Facebook, Instagram, your account is never gone forever. It's just deactivated.
But that's a problem.
Why? Because the pictures that you chose to put on the internet
because your life changes and your decisions change.
I understand that.
That same company doesn't get to keep what
But we put it there. So
yeah, but we put it there at a different time in our life. Like before you have children, let's say before you have a wife, you put some information on there that's, that you don't want on there anymore.
Yeah, that happens. That happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time. So But I guess you're right with the transactions in terms of a business, because let's not get into the social media and all that. I don't want to get into that. I want to stay on the Amazon thing.
That also doesn't happen on social media because you could delete your pictures.
Yes.
And the company doesn't just re-release pictures.
No, and you can also deactivate and delete your account, because I've deleted accounts. And the only thing is it deactivates for like 30 days and then they erase it. So it seems, but my thing was with Amazon not being able to get rid of it. But now when you talk about the business perspective, I guess there have been financial transactions that have taken place. So as a business, I need to keep records of who spent money here. If years down the road, you want to come and sue me for a defective product, what have you, I need to have some kind of record. So, okay.
They could delete her. If they said like, listen, what I think they should do is say, okay, we will close your account. You could never use it again going forward. If you want an account, you have to make a new one. It'll be non-existent. But the account still exists in the realm of their business, because that's exactly what it is. So if I sell paint and I have a Rolodex with a bunch of my client could say, listen, lose my number. I could pull it out of my Rolodex, but their information is still in my accounts payable or in my transactions, in my phone bill, so on and so forth.
That makes sense, because if you cancel a Macy's credit card, that doesn't erase your transaction history. It just equates. That makes sense.
Yeah, right. It erases that card
out loud with another person, and we actually put it into like a dialogue. It makes sense.
Yeah, I wasn't challenging your thought on it. I was just saying I could kind of see why fucking... No, but I get it.
But it's important. That's why I wanted to bring it up. So that makes a lot of sense. So, to anybody that
people get mad crazy though. People are like, I want you to remove it forever. Take me off the list.
Yeah. Nah, I've been a person to think like that in the past. This right here just makes sense to me. I don't know if you just entered like a conduit, that makes sense to me. So, this is why it's important to open your mind to new information and change your way of thinking.
I would never tell your girl's friend that shit, though. I keep that shit to my fucking self.
She's a fucking like a fucking like PhD psychologist and shit. Like,
oh,
she's
really?
Like, yeah, bro. Couple drinks in with her, she'll like have you on a couch, like explain your problem to be crying and shit.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding. But she's super fucking smart. She's actually really working on she's working on something called Fresh Start in North Carolina. It's actually a meal education plan for homeless people in order to try to help them be healthier and stuff. And like, because in soup kitchens they feed them shit.
Yeah.
So she's trying to change the culture of what they feed in. She's getting tons of funding and shit. Like, she's like pitching it to like big investors, and they're really into it. So
do you think that not this woman, but like some people who work these, or some people who are like doctors or lawyers or really successful, they have this kind of sense of, because immediately when you say that, and I'm no offense to this woman, this isn't anything to do with her. This is just an idea that came into my head.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sure she's a very nice person.
We're in the nest. It's all good. We're in the trust tree.
Do you think there's like some kind of entitlement there when they're like, delete it? And you're like, somebody like me and you would be like, all right, well, they can't do it. But somebody who's maybe in a different position in the world, they're kind of like, no, I say you have to delete it.
No, I think it's just a lack of information. Like me, I thought the same thing. I told her, I was like, this is outrageous. I'm deleting my Amazon account. Like, I went on immediately and started looking at my account, looking at my options, looking at what was on there.
Noticing you can't delete it either.
And then, so then initially my first reaction is like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy. But then like now when I speak to somebody that's more involved in the field, like just like, I'm involved in different fields. You've asked me questions in the field in which I work, and we've talked about it. And so it's just a lack of information about the field, really.
Okay.
So it's really not, I think she just doesn't know that. I think had I had this conversation with you in front of her, she would have a better understanding, because she's a smart girl. It's just a different field to what she's used to.
Yeah.
So understood. I think that's more of, I think that's a little closer to where we're at.
Understood completely. What else you got? You got anything else? Where are we at right now?
Probably at an hour 45, I'd say.
Oh, let's see how good you are. Because
I'm pretty close.
No. 2:12.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know what that means.
Oh shit, we're good to wrap, brother.
That's sad.
Anything else? No, that's
last minute thoughts.
Last minute thoughts. For Thanksgiving, just be smart with your family when it comes to your family, but also remember that this is America. So,
shoot your turkey.
I'd say just, be smart and just make your own choices. Don't ever let anybody scare you into making choices that go against what you believe or go against, things that you think protect your freedom. I mean, I'm going to be smart and I'm not going to see certain people because of certain reasons, because of the holidays. But at the same time, I'm not going to lock myself in the fucking basement and cry. So just be smart, wear your mask, wash your hands. If your uncle, aunt, grandma, grandpa, something has cancer and is on chemo and is immunocompromised, or has some kind of other issue, don't be fucking dumb. But also don't feel like you can't hug somebody because Cuomo said you can't. So that's just
wise words.
How I feel at the moment. That's it.
All right. Damn.
What you got?
Change the main meal on Thanksgiving. I'm not tired of turkey. It's a dry meat. It's
What
not
do you want?
that good.
Rabito? You want oxtail? What do you want?
Oh, I love oxtail, but maybe we could make it like pernil or something because it's juicy.
We do pernil in my house. You don't.
Yeah, well, of course we do pernil.
We
but
do
you
that
know,
freaking dry ass turkey too.
I hate turkey is too big of a bird and it's not juicy enough because of the size of it and how long it takes to cook. It dry that motherfucker
It's the
out.
breast that's the biggest part, so that's why the breast is always dry, bro. You got to go for legs on chicken, turkey, any bird. I always go for the leg. They're like, "Oh, you like the dark meat?" I'm like, "Yeah, bring me the dark meat because the dark meat has some moisture and some flavor."
You're
you
from
want
the
that
fucking
dry
jungle,
ass?
That's why you like that shit.
What'd you say?
I said you're from the jungle. That's why you like that shit.
From that fucking finca. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's it, bro. We're gonna wrap up. What is this? Episode 8.
Episode 8.
Episode 8.